Hello and welcome, everybody. I'm super excited to be here with a fantastic group of peers. We are here live for Foundry Virtual Tabletop Presents A House Divided. It is a really exciting adventure that our team worked really hard, really passionately to create. We love it. I'm so excited to get a chance to run this adventure for the first time since it's been released. We had a great time playtesting it during production, but this is the final thing, and I'm so excited to get a chance to, to play through it with some folks that are really, really fortunate to have at the table. We have a great cast of players for this stream, and I'm really looking forward to diving into the adventure. Thank you all out in chat for joining us. Really appreciate you coming along for this ride, and I hope you all really enjoy it. And I hope it gives you some great ideas about either running this adventure or other things that you can bring into your games, tips and tricks and things you can do in Foundry, anything like that. I'll be really excited to see what chat thinks. I'm gonna try not to keep too much of an eye on it because I do have to be the game master during this episode, but I am going to be fascinated to see what y'all think. And so thank you so much for joining us out in chat. Really appreciate that. We're going to get going soon. I want to start by allowing everyone to introduce themselves firstly as humans, as players. We will get to character introductions in a minute, but please join me in welcoming and please share with the audience a little bit about yourself, and we'll get introduced, and then we will get straight into the action. We'll start with Zentt up top.
Oh God, no pressure. Hi, I'm Zentt, or Zentt7 on most of the social things. You can go find me in the doobly-doos or whatever. I've been playing D&D for about 6-7 years, and I've been DMing for that entire time. And yeah, I'm so happy I get to be a player.
Is there a dark story about what happened to Zentt's versions 1 through 6?
They're still around somewhere. We don't know exactly where, but we'll find them.
Okay. Well, hopefully not in the adventure waiting for you in a dark corner to ambush yourself with previous versions of your online persona. Terrifying and fourth wall breaking and all awful things. Don't give me ideas, I guess. Thanks for your introduction. Next up would be Russell, who is probably well known to the Foundry community at this point.
Yes, hello. I am Russell. I've been a long-time member of the Foundry community, and on the Discord I go by Moo Man. What I generally do is make various systems, mainly the Warhammer systems, as well as some future projects like the new 40k system and the Pillars of Eternity system. And yeah, I've been playing D&D for 5-6 years, I think. And this is super exciting, and I'm ready to go.
Awesome. Thanks, Russell. I am Andrew, of course, creator of Foundry Virtual Tabletop, had a key role in the creation of this adventure as well, but for the purposes of this stream, I am simply the humble dungeon master. I really look forward to it. You can find me on the Foundry Discord, on Twitter, on places, but for now, I'm mostly focused on the story of Raventree Estate, which you will all come to know very well. Next up is Scarlett. Please let everyone know about you and where we can find you and what you do.
Hi, I'm Scarlett. I'm a content creator, mostly focused on D&D, but I am also known for my DJ streams here on Twitch. You can find me everywhere: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. And I am just starting a new venture into making Foundry tutorials on YouTube, which I started doing before I met Andrew. So I'm obviously very happy to be here. I can't even tell you. So yeah.
Well, we're very happy to have you and your many talents that you bring to the stream. Thank you for joining us. Last but absolutely not least is Kate. Please introduce yourself and let folks know who you are, what you do, where they can find you, everything awesome that you're involved in.
Oh my gosh. Hello everybody. My name is Kate. And I go by Catieosaurus on all the social medias. I'm also a content creator, but my niche area of interest is the intersection between neurodivergency and mental health and gaming. And so I talk a lot about ADHD and sex on the internet, and I also talk about a lot of TTRPGs. So I just say, it's like both type of dungeons. And I'm hilarious, and that is what I have to say. I just got really nervous all of a sudden. It's fine. We're doing a great job, everybody.
Yeah, this is no nerves required. That's awesome. Thank you, Kate. We're really thrilled to have you here.
I'm just really excited to be here.
Yes, let's play some D&D. Let's roll some dice.
Sweet.
I think we do have. Luckily, we're very fortunate to have a fifth player in our broadcast. Although unfortunately, due to some scary last-minute scheduling complexities, the weekend of PAX and everything, Noir, who will be joining us for this broadcast, is running a little bit late. We hope that he may be able to join for this episode, but if not, we will weave his character's story into our narrative beginning in episode 2. But I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that he may make it yet, and if so, then I'll let him introduce himself when he arrives. But if not, you will have the pleasure of Noir joining us for our second episode and beyond. All right, so without further ado, I hope you are all ready to get the game started. Before we jump into it, and you'll all have a chance to introduce your characters, Matt on our team has prepared some very cool pre-roll footage to kick us off. And so, Matt, when you're ready, you can roll the tape and bring us in to Foundry VTT Presents A House Divided.
Woo.
Welcome back. That was cool. Matt, thank you very much for making that pre-roll for us. And the star of the pre-roll show, of course, I have to give credit to the wonderful and talented Scarlett, who drew these character portraits. She obviously is supremely talented in that regard. They're wonderful character portraits, and she takes commissions. Do you want to plug that, Scarlett?
Yeah. If you want a commission, DM me on Twitter. I have a little menu on a pinned tweet that tells you what you need to know. And yeah, DM me, please. I want to draw your D&D characters.
Yeah, I was so pumped when you volunteered to draw to illustrate the characters for the stream. So that's so cool. All right, well, we will go ahead and get into the action with episode 1 of Foundry VTT Presents A House Divided. Our story begins with Alphonse. The letter arrived in a tightly folded envelope. Upon the back, a generous dab of purple wax is embossed with the sigil of a branching oak tree, which frames the spread wings of a bird, The front of the envelope reads only Alphonse, written in a precision of hand that implies seriousness of the content within. I am going to give to each of you, in your shared notes journal entry, a copy of the letter.
Oh, that's so
As
cool.
I will also read it aloud. The letter reads, Alphonse, I suspect you have oft wondered of your true heritage, the genesis of your precocious talent, which remains a subject of ignorance. I write with answers to your questions and to communicate upon you a grave responsibility. You are a scion of House Corvinarus, the descendant from a bloodline with storied history and potent lineage. We have followed your development with interest. Your family requires aid, and you are ready to be of service. You may think this request presumptuous, but this letter is a gateway to your destiny. You stand to gain much: worldly wealth, knowledge of yourself, mastery of your abilities, and a place where you belong. You must heed this summons. Journey north to the hamlet of Ferncombe. I will find you there and explain the trial that awaits you. This path will test your skills, your intellect, and your resolve. If you have allies worthy of consideration, enlist their aid for this endeavor. This quest may prove daunting for you alone, despite your nascent power. I expect your prompt arrival. Signed, Ari, servant of House Corvinarus. And I'll take a moment to welcome Noir, who has been able to join us.
So sorry about that.
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Hello!
We're so happy to have you.
Happy to
No
be
worries. You joined at a very dramatic moment where you were able to, with a
I felt the seriousness.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
rapping.
Your compatriot, Alphonse, has just received a letter of some strange significance. Alphonse, Russell, why don't you begin by giving the audience a brief description of your character and how you might find this letter upon having received it.
So, for some people in this world, the phrase, the eyes are the window to the soul, holds especially true, and Alphonse is certainly among their number. Compared to the rest of his demeanor, that of a tall half-elf with a great mass of messy, braided hair, and a trimmed beard, and voluminous robes, that in total could be imperious if it wasn't riddled with hesitancy. His eyes reflect his colder, more subtle nature. Not many are fond of holding his gaze for long, and those who do come away pondering, not really able to recall what colors they might have seen. Was it pale blue or gray, or somewhere in between? And when was the last time he even blinked? There are some, however, who have not shrunken under his gaze, and whom he finds himself gravitating towards. And after much deliberation, after receiving this letter, he has asked them for help, which is a strange feeling to him.
Who amongst your peers was the first that you went to? I'm asking you to play favorites.
I might say... It's a good question.
Whom would you trust most with a matter of this?
Is everyone is a peer, right?
Yeah, everyone is a peer.
Okay. Well, I might go with... Man, you're making me choose?
This is the first choice and consequence moment
Yeah.
of many, Russell. You better get used to it.
We're all paying attention too. We're all taking notes. In fact, I have my notes pulled up right now. Session 1.
This is where the party
Notes.
cohesion breaks.
Mm.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Just immediately.
I think Scarlet's magic most aligns with mine. So I think I'm gonna go with her.
Pay a
With
visit to
Abigail.
Abigail.
Yeah.
Well,
Ooh.
I think you might perhaps find Abigail and Maze not far removed, for they tend to traverse this realm as a team, at least for some time. Abigail, why don't you start by introducing your character and how you would react to Alphonse's strange request?
I feel like Alphonse would find Abigail in some dusty library, poring over books with some weird instruments, like reading the instructions of how to work this thingamajigger, and trying to get her friend Maze to help, but he's kind of busy staring at things he doesn't know how they work. Abigail is a very small, deep gnome with lavender skin and silver moon hair. And she has a giant floppy witch hat with like a big bow on it. She's wearing some like school-styled student robes with a little tie. She's very neat and very well kept together, and big giant circle glasses. And yeah, she would be very invested in her study. And when she sees Alphonse approach her, you can see a sense, you can't tell if it's respect or judgmentalness. But it's a very, like, she kind of peers up from her book and she's like, "Oh, it's you. What can I do for you?"
Next to Abigail, perceiving this scene unfold, would be the mysterious and somewhat ephemeral Maze. Or perhaps I should give your full name, Mazriel Kirintor.
Well, it's even longer than that, but I don't
Oh
want
my.
to confuse people. Names are descriptions, and it should tell you everything about you. But yeah, Maze is a little walking storm. His hair actually changes with whatever weather is close by, though he tends to hang out near storms.
Because I take him storm chasing.
Yes, it's his favorite hobby. It makes him feel like he's at home. He's definitely not paying attention to whatever experiment's going on right now, but he's blowing little smoke images into a bottle and watching them run around as he keeps pulling from his pipe. He just kind of looks at Alphonse and gives a nod and a smile, and then goes back to whatever he's doing. But he's very much physically there, maybe mentally not fully in the moment yet.
Interesting.
Would you say his
Oh.
head is in the clouds?
One might say that, yes.
I've neglected my duty to display Mesriel's wonderful portrait, which we should add to our tableau of growing characters, our growing cast of characters. Alphonse, you would need to find it within yourself to enlist the aid of Abigail and Maze following this summons, for you have been tasked to bring those that you could count upon as allies. How would you approach that?
Well, in every other circumstance, it's generally very to the point with Alphonse and an overwhelming amount of eye contact. But this is the first time you've seen him not meet your gaze. And he just sort of scratches his beard while looking around and just hands you the letter.
Ooh.
She's gonna read through it. Excuse me, I have a cold. It's the storm chasing.
It was just a little hurricane. It's fine. You dried off.
My hair did not. Would I know the house of Corvinaris or
You-
Ferncombe?
You may have the privilege of making the first dice roll of our game. Please give me a history check.
I am pretty sure I am fantastic at history.
Dis your jam?
Uh,
Hmm.
it's still above a 10.
There are many noble houses in this realm, some of whom have ancient and storied lineages that might match the description in this letter, but the name Corvinaris, not a house of sufficient renown that you are familiar with, at least not from the great and distant glory of the past, nor from recent noble tradition. Ferncombe, it sounds like just any number of small farming villages that spackle the region. Towns named like that are 10 a penny, you might think. You probably
Okay.
have passed through a Ferncombe before.
How does one comb a fern?
I suppose with a fine-toothed comb, Maze. But I find particular annoyance at how much praise this letter is giving Alphonse's talents.
Yes.
It's kind of ruffling my feathers a bit, especially this precocious talent. I'm like reading, I'm like precocious talent, scion, prove daunting nation power. Okay, whatever. Well, that's odd. I suppose you're going to go?
Yeah.
Why aren't you looking at me in the eyes? This is strange.
It's a bit of a loss for words. I'm not sure what you mean.
Never mind. Yes, I think this would be quite interesting. Especially since they think you're so talented. Yes, we might have to look into that. Maze,
Yeah.
shall we?
I don't.
What were you doing when you were like, yeah? Were you doing?
He's just sitting with his pipe and he's blowing little smoke rings into a bottle, and they turn into horses and they run around the inside of the bottle. And he's just watching it.
I don't think there's going to be a storm there. Will that be a problem?
There will be.
When you said there's not going to be a storm, Abby's face brightened, and then when you said there will be, it grows dark again. And then she sneezes into a giant handkerchief.
Abigail and Maze, knowing that a journey is before you, a chance to venture into the countryside, a chance to investigate the storied past of this alleged house, a chance to presumably uncover magical secrets of some significance, your minds go to whom else of your coterie of companions and friends you might wish to invite on this adventure. You perhaps think to suggest to Alphonse, who might be slow on the uptake, that additional traveling companions could be wise.
Maybe we should hire a doctor and a mercenary. Sorry, was that too on the note?
So on the note, well, it might just so be that you know two such individuals, that you've engaged with them in the past. They're actually quite lovely.
Who were we drinking with last night?
Yes,
Well, you were reading. I was drinking.
Well, there was that lovely Dr. Charlotte. I think we had some conversations. I don't remember what about, though. I might have to catch up with her. And there's also Vlad, but I also don't remember how I know him either.
Did you drink that much?
Somebody
Yes.
put something in my tea.
Perhaps the storm chasing has gone to Abigail's head. Maze, do you recall the nature of how you met Vlad? Surely you must. Someone must have recorded these events.
Maze, shit. I mean,
I don't remember having this conversation.
I don't know if we
How I
did.
Met Your Vlad. Probably. It was probably just a drunken scuffle. And you ever been in a bar where like people like split sides and you just kind of end up fighting side by side with somebody? It was probably one of those issues.
And thus a loyal comrade was born. You actually take the time, Alphonse, being amenable to the idea of strengthening your party to a degree. You take the time to track down Dr. Charlotte. It takes a little bit of doing because she's not exactly where you expected to find her. Charlotte, where is it that they find you?
On this particular night, when they go to track down Dr. Charlotte, she's actually in the she's in the waiting room of the local police station. Because she's been arrested again. It was, of course, a misunderstanding, but she's sort of very primly sitting there. And they would recognize Charlotte as one of the newer instructors at the school. She actually went to school there. And then she was in that awkward position of being like the grad student who immediately got hired, to like stay on at the school. So she's right around the same age, like just a couple of years above like a lot of the older students, which sometimes puts her in the uncomfortable position of having to be the voice of authority. But perhaps even more importantly, Dr. Charlotte is not accustomed to being in academic institutions or places where people of means and wealth would gather. Rather, Charlotte is to look at her, you can tell that she's in her late 20s, early 30s, but you can tell that there's a world weariness to her. And the way she moves is very it's energetic, and almost frenetic in the way that she moves. And as she sort of looks up at the group, you see her sort of like big satyr ears sort of like flick at the noise of the door. And she'll give you a wave. She has her hooves sort of like crossed up and put on the desk of the sergeant that like brought her in again for questioning. And as she looks over and gives you a wave, she'll say, she's like, "You'll have to forgive me. It was a terrible misunderstanding. I don't know what happened. I was just wrong place, wrong time again, officer. But that's sort of the thing, isn't it? You can't really make anything stick if you don't have proof. So I will be taking my leave. Oh, hello. Fancy seeing you in this place."
Charlotte, what's going on?
Not much, honestly. I just sort of there was an argument over a bit of jewelry, but I think that we got it sorted out. Isn't that right? And she'll sort of like look knowingly over at the police sergeant, who looks very defeated.
Yes, the constable looks as if he wishes he had really any other profession at the moment. Knowing that you are a appointed scholar of the academy and a known troublemaker as you are, the constable in this case is willing to overlook your latest trespass, and he does so with a prolonged and exaggerated sigh. But you can tell that he doesn't really take it personally, and you suspect that he secretly prefers to avoid any further work that would be required from pursuing an arrest of a teacher from the academy.
Kind of like knowing this, Charlotte will get up and like slap her hands on her thighs and say, "Well, it's been a pleasure doing business with you, Constable." And she'll do this like deep, ironic curtsy with her, like fancy school skirts, and turn and say, "So what we doing?"
Maybe
Food
we should.
and then travels, I think. Yeah.
We're going on an adventure.
All right, I'm in. It's fine. I just, as long as we don't have to be here anymore, I'm in. So, all right, let's go.
Why do I keep finding you in jail?
I can't help it, can I? There's a sort of, shortness of
You represent
supplies.
the academy.
Yeah,
That's
well,
so
the academy doesn't exactly have what I've been looking for in the chemistry lab, and so, sometimes a lady's got to make do with, what she can find
I mean,
about
if it's
the town.
for science and for research, I kind of understand, but can't you at least invest in like an unseen servant or an invisible mage hand or invisibility?
Charlotte will like clap like just like the most like jovial of hands on your shoulder, and she'll say, well, where would the fun be in that, love? It's only fun if you get your hands dirty.
I'm having a super Hermione Granger moment right now, and just
It's all right. So usually I play the academics, but everybody else went with the academics, and I'm just doing like another thing, and it's all going to hell already, so it's fine.
I'm here for this. I'm here
Alphonse,
for this.
will you
It's like, I
show
guess
her
she's a
the
play
letter?
right now.
She sounds like My Fair Lady.
It's honestly like Dick Van Dyke and then Catieosaurus for like best English accent of all time.
Yeah.
So we're rolling with
Neck
it.
and
It's
neck.
fine. neck and neck. Sorry. What letter?
Before you decide, you should look at this. I hand you the letter.
All right. Alphonse, let me ask you this: is it mysterious?
I would say so. Yes.
Could there be a bit of danger?
I think it says on the letter there. Yeah. Yes.
Will I, at any point, get to maybe blow something up?
Ooh.
Sure.
Can we blow something?
Yeah, all right. Then I'm in. I don't need to see the letter, but thank you. It's fine. I mean, I'll read it, but I don't need to. I'm invested. I'm in. All right, let's do it.
Fair enough.
Well, it doesn't take you all long to conclude that if there is, in fact, mystery and peril and danger and significant consequences to the endeavor that you're about to pursue, that you're definitely going to need Vlad, who strikes you as just the sort of person that you want at your side in this type of adventure. So you endeavor to track down the hobgoblin, and Vlad, where is it that they managed to come across you?
They find him actually at a graveyard, sharpening his axe with the tombstone of the person he's talking to.
Pardon?
He's sharpening his axe on his on a tombstone. And he's just kind of talking to the tombstone, like people talk to.
Of the four of us, who would know you the best?
Who's the biggest obnoxious drunkard amongst the party?
Hi.
It would be Maz.
And by proxy, me, I suppose.
See, I told you he'd be here.
Vlad, whose gravestone is that?
It's me, Paul's.
It's your boss?
No, me, Paul.
Your dad.
My dad, yeah.
She takes her little floppy hat off and holds it to her heart, unsure what to do.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was paying respects. Puts it back.
Oh, I mean, he's got no use for your respects. He's dead.
I see. Alphonse, do you want to tell the hobgoblin?
Oh, yes, sure. I don't think we've met, but here,
You seem alright.
I would agree.
What are you saying here? What's this all about?
He,
I received a letter. Well, you can read it and assume.
Alphonse presents you with a letter that it seems a bit full of itself, perhaps, and yet it does seem as if it's urging Alphonse to come on some strange quest to.
Oh, he wasn't
discover
here for the. Okay, yeah.
family
Yeah.
heritage.
Yeah. All due respects, I'm not reading that. What do you want?
Oh, I'm going to a house, and it has many perils. We wish to
Wait.
join.
Is there a chance of death?
Yes,
A good death, like a glorious, like.
mostly horrific, I would assume.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
That suits you?
Listen, I love my dad, but he was killed by a wagon. Just wasn't looking. It's pathetic way for a hobgoblin to die.
Abigail takes her head off again and puts it to her heart.
I assume he
Charlotte like laughs.
Yeah, I mean, no, you should laugh. It's pathetic.
I'm
And the
sorry,
way-
I'm not making fun of it, but it is kind of funny.
You are forever as you die as, and he will forever be a speed bump. And to make our family worth a damn, I've got to find a good death. So, you say that paper with all that writing will lead me to a glorious end. Stop talking. I'm ready.
Very well.
Maze, what did we agree to?
We're about to watch possibly a dismemberment and maybe a death, and then
I'm good at those!
learn something about it.
Mr. Vlad, what plane
Yeah.
of existence are you from?
It's a little back and forth. Most of the time material, but I got family in the Feywilds. I got a couple of family in the ethereal plane.
If you die gloriously,
Yes.
can I study your remains?
You want to slutty my remains?
Oh my, no.
Oh.
Study.
I don't have a full grasp on common.
You know what, never mind.
Well, secondary follow-up question before we close this. If you get dismembered, can I
Aye.
put you back together, but not necessarily in an order that would make sense to a lot of people?
Wait, before you do that, I need to first take some tissue samples.
Well, yeah, but, I'm just thinking...
I've never been so popular. This is a great adventure already.
I'm just picturing
Y-
Abby and Charlotte both all glomming over you and like pinching and tugging on you.
Listen, you can slutty my corpse all you want to if I die.
I didn't say it.
What am I
She's
missing?
very good at it.
What am I missing?
Maze.
What?
It's a dirty word.
And also if I lose an arm, after I'm done taking off the arms or whatever did that to me, then yeah, you can, I guess, put the arm back however you want to. Just not. I don't want a butt arm. Is the thing. And so like everything else is good. Just I don't want an arm coming out of my butt.
Right,
What am
no
I
butt
missing?
arms.
What am I missing in class? What are you doing?
Oh, you were there for that class, Alphonse? It was very interesting. Dr. Charlotte is amazing.
I mean,
Hmm.
I just, I find anatomy of various creatures, well, it's fascinating, It's just a lot of, it's like clockwork.
Dr. Charlotte, you are the one who inspired my minor in extraplanar biology.
That is inspiring. And also, you don't have to keep calling me Dr. Charlotte. You can just say Charlotte. It's
But
fine. I'm not
That's so
it's-
improv. You're my teacher.
It's fine. Well, you know, it's hang out. Once we drink together, you're gonna have to start calling me Shaw, and then it's just all bets are off. So it's fine.
All right, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, Dr. Charlotte.
It's taking a very long
alright.
time for me to die right now.
Having agreed upon the basic arrangement and terms around the eventualities of potential death and dismemberment and drinks to be had and official titles to be given or not given according to each person's respective level of comfort, the companionship is formed, for better or worse. And Alphonse, your letter has set in motion a journey that takes the group actually about a week's travel to the north, away from the academy that you've all been living at for some time. And you may find it refreshing at first to get out into the countryside, although the further that you travel, the more that the verdant hills and rolling plains and scenic vistas move into more mundane farmland, and it's very flat, and it just keeps going. And there's a pastoral beauty of it, but eventually you come to your appointed destination, the town named Ferncombe, that you researched into its location. It did turn out that it was, in fact, one of multiple Ferncombes, and you had to figure out which one was intended. But that was a side quest for another day. You've arrived at Ferncombe and at the appointed time, and I will bring you over to an illustration of the scene of the township where you now have arrived. And I'll switch some things over here. Arriving in Ferncombe.
It's so pretty.
The township is a small, rural hamlet. It is quaint. It is welcoming. It lies just far enough from popular trade routes to make it an uncommon destination, yet close enough to draw the occasional merchant caravan and traders. It is a pastoral fishing and farming village. It is hardly populous, though it is welcoming of those few outsiders who do happen to wander through. From your initial survey, you learn that what Ferncombe seems to lack in amenities, it does make up for in the quaint wholesomeness of its people. You feel a sort of sense of home here, at least for the time, that doesn't seem at all dangerous, or that it's about to lead to imminent dismemberment of any of the party.
I think Abigail hasn't even noticed because she's too busy reading.
You're paging through your tomes and your journals, but you are informed by the rest of the group that you actually have arrived at your destination, which appears to be the solitary inn in town. There are no options. There is but one. And a sign, simple road sign, with the word Odin's visibly scraped off, and the word Kate's painted over it marks Kate's Rest, C-A-I-T in this case. And a drifting scent of fresh-baked bread permeates the air. It is one of the largest buildings in town. It's surprisingly well appointed for its humble surroundings. It's the town's public house. Inn serves as a place for most of the townsfolk to take meals together, to conduct business, discuss gossip of the day. It's reasonably sized, although not excessively so. It does have an attached boarding house with several available rooms. And there is a second crudely painted sign hanging just below the door declaring hot meals, comfortable beds, tasty beer, no prices mentioned.
You said it was called Kate's Rest?
Kate's Rest, C-A-I-T, yes.
Got it.
Oh, see, these people don't use currency. I like that. I still can't figure out how many silver are in a gold.
10.
You sure? That
No.
one guy, he kept giving me 11 back.
Electrum, a lot like silver.
Don't bother with Electrum. Nobody uses it. It's going out of style.
Oh.
No, is there a barkeep or a tavern leader person?
There may very well be. To
Maze,
find the
lift me up.
answer,
I can't see.
to find the answer to that question, you start towards the door, and as you go to open the door, it actually opens just before you arrive, swinging outwardly, causing you to take a half step back to avoid being trodden on. A half-attentive man is in the process of exiting the establishment while looking back within, a hand raised in farewell as he calls in a rich, mellifluous tone, "Good day, Caitlin, darling. Always a pleasure. See you soon." Unlike the other townsfolk you've passed so far, this figure seems uniquely out of place. His skin is an unblemished tan, his clothing expensive, tailored, more befitting the court of some minor nobility than a farming town. His shirt is roguishly unbuttoned to the chest. He has a decorative violet choker, drawing attention to his somewhat chiseled features. Brown hair in perfect ringlet curls hangs about his head and neck. He is not only handsome, but to the point of it being a distraction.
How annoying. Just kidding. I'm looking at the party to see who's noticing.
Charlotte will notice, but she notices in a way that it's like you can visibly watch her fingers start to itch, where she's just like, can I rub him, please, just a little, like that, like just a bit, just like, you know, just sneak off into the, just rummage around a bit. It's just, I'll be like real quick if you.
How loudly are you saying this?
I'm not. I'm whispering. Clearly,
Okay.
this is a private conversation. I'm not gonna. I'm good at this part of my job.
Okay.
During Charlotte's internal dialogue, Stranger's inattention causes a mild collision with the party. As his shoulder runs into yours and he stumbles for a moment. "Ah, sorry, so sorry."
Oh, do excuse me, my lord.
He brushes a hand over the spot where you collided just briefly, respectfully. "There, see, no harm done." His smile is pleasant, tone kind, but before you have the chance to discuss with him further, he abruptly excuses himself and he continues on his way and he starts walking away from you.
Oh, were we supposed to pay him for the room?
If I could, I would just put a hand on his shoulder real quick as he's walking by, and I just lean up real close and just go, "You're real pretty," and that's it.
He stops for a moment. He stops for a moment and turns back to you, Vlad, and you're not sure how to expect his reaction, but what he does is he simply smiles and looks at you pleasantly and says, "Why, thank you. You are handsome yourself as well, but I must be on my way. I have other errands that demand my attention, and time is of the essence."
Best of luck, friend, and good death
Perhaps
to
our
you.
paths will cross again. What was your name?
Vlad.
Vlad. He seems to tuck that piece of information away, does not volunteer his own name in return, and he walks away.
Real power
Can I check
move.
my pockets? Make sure this guy didn't rob me.
You may make a perception check, I suppose, to see if you observed any funny business.
Flipped it on you.
So 18.
Nice. You did not notice any attempt at chicanery.
Good word.
Chicanery. One of my favorite words.
It's a good word.
Yeah. I deduce that the leader of this fine establishment is named Caitlin.
It's on the sign.
Kate is on the sign. Okay, Mr. Talent. You know what? Let's go.
We walk in.
You walk in.
I'm so mad I didn't think of that first.
You walk into the establishment of Kate's Rest, and the interior gives rise to a pleasant din of quiet conversation. I'll pull over to another scene here. The smells of warm and fresh baked bread welcome you with open arms. While the exterior of Kate's Rest might have looked modest, the interior decor is furnished with a worn luxury. As though someone bought high-quality furniture when outfitting the establishment years ago, but perhaps couldn't quite afford the upkeep of replacing it with like-for-like craftsmanship of a similar style. For an inn and tavern of its size, Kate's Rest seems surprisingly well-staffed. There are 2 barmaids taking orders and clearing tables. There's another younger lad that's sweeping up and tending behind the bar. Behind the bar, there's a red-headed woman that serves drinks and chats with patrons. There are a few in the establishment, and there's a bright smile upon her face as she looks up and, without saying anything, kind of her posture is welcoming as she sees you enter the door.
I
All
look
right,
up.
if they're too shy to say it, ale and jerky.
Almost immediately, the staff at the establishment scrambles to prepare a table and start taking your orders and preparing food and drink for you, presumed weary travelers from the road. There are a few that pass through Ferncombe that do not stay at Kate's Rest, and so this is a routine that is well known to all of them.
So, Alfie, is how far off are we from the house thing, or?
He looks ponderous. What did the map say? I don't know.
Have you ever been here before?
As far as my memory goes, no.
Well, we have can check this one. Otherwise, we got 16 other combs to Fern later. If
Yeah,
we
I
need
think
to.
this is maybe the 6th one we've stopped at so far.
We should probably ask.
Not before, almost as those words exit your mouth, Kate herself, the proprietor of the establishment, comes by to your table and says, "Welcome, travelers. You look like you've been on the road for a minute. What can I do for you?"
Question. The estate of Corvinaros.
Corvinaros, eh? You a historian?
No.
What's your business?
We are going there.
No, you're not.
Oh, okay. I guess we go home, guys.
Wait,
Ah.
well,
Are we going in the wrong direction?
Friend, you appear to have been ill-advised by someone. No one goes to Raventree. Why would you want to go there? Abandoned ruin such as it is?
Ooh.
To study it, I offer.
You are a historian, then. I knew it.
A letter told me to go, so I'm going.
A letter. Oh. Are you here for the gentleman?
Was that
What
the guy who
gentleman?
just left?
By what name?
No, not him.
Oh.
That's,
Who?
that was Johann. Johann Georg, his name.
Oh, he's definitely a composer.
He's a man of many talents, I think. Storyteller, bard of some repute.
Should we have talked to him more?
He's clearly very talented at push-ups.
Real pretty.
Have you seen his chest
Yes.
situation?
No one sings like Johann.
I suspect he takes his calisthenics fairly seriously. You're not wrong. Well, you're here for Ari, then. You must
Yes,
be.
that was
I'm
the
sorry
name.
I didn't think of it at once.
I did not tell you it was a letter. Until the end.
Just so. Come. He'll want to talk with you in private.
Will there be food there?
Oh, yes. We'll bring all your food and drink into the side room, just over there.
I gave you a good berry this morning. You shouldn't be hungry.
Listen, it staves off hunger, but I'm a big guy. I enjoy eating.
Well,
Fair
That's
enough.
the spirit.
Kate beckons you to the side room where it's a little bit more homey. It's a little bit more quiet. The din of the crowd dies down a little bit. Not that it was too raucous to begin with, but it is a little bit more quiet in here. And you have a moment to yourselves to eat and drink. The gentleman, whose name apparently is Ari, does not arrive immediately. So you have a moment to yourselves to discuss.
Right, what's the play? Like, what? Wait, do we?
Yeah, are we just
we're
gonna
talking-
tell everybody our business just right out of the gate, or are we gonna be sneaky?
Well,
yeah,
our
Ari-
phone-
Violent start.
Yeah, you were. Ori said in the letter, Ori said that he was going to meet you here, right, and sort of tell you what's going on.
I believe that was the arrangement.
Right. So let's. I mean, I'm not trying to tell the rest of you what to do, but I'm just saying it might be best not to attract us, a bunch of attention and be, broadcasting our business around, the town. Like, I don't think throwing around that name is maybe the most advisable, but I don't know.
The name Ari?
No, the one that I definitely remember
Oh.
off the top of my head,
Hold
Corvinaris.
Well, it
Yeah,
seems
did you
to be
see
a
her
local
reaction?
name.
She didn't seem to like that.
Well, we need a direction.
Yeah, well,
I thought the
Also, like, if oh no, I'm not saying you did a bad job. I'm just saying, like, let's keep it, close to the chest because, especially a name like that, you don't know what sort of opinion the folks around town have.
And this is a
Now I'm selling.
smallish town. I think this is the kind of town that like burns witches at the stake if they see someone they don't trust. So I don't know. I feel a little
Wow.
nervous.
Well, although, Abigail, you did do something, I think, maybe sort of inadvertently brilliant. You said you were a historian, which is, sometimes I've what?
I'm agreeing with you. Sorry, I'm not trying to cut you
Oh
off.
no, you're all right. You're all right. No, it's my fantasy internet keeps cutting out.
Damn you, fantasy Wi-Fi.
I know the fantasy Wi-Fi here is terrible. No, but what I was going to say, Abigail, is that sometimes important names and important families in places of not much importance. Often what happens is that there's, people have opinions, people have thoughts, people have feelings, and it might not be the worst idea to maybe sort of mingle amongst the people and sort of, get an idea of what people think of the carbonara's. That's not right, but that's what's
That
stuck
is
in
one
my
of my
head.
favorite pasta dishes, but that
I
Carbonara.
know,
was
it's just,
definitely
it
not
sounds tasty, like it sticks in your head, you know what I mean?
I wonder if we can get that here.
I mean, I think while we have a chance to talk about, where'd that go? I think while we have a chance to talk about it, one of the things that we might want to consider is, what do you all do exactly? I mean, if we're gonna keep secrets, he's going to cast message at Dr. Charlotte, so it's only a whisper.
Ooh.
He's just gonna go, this will probably be useful, like, can the rest of y'all do that? All right, and he says it again so everybody can hear it. Can the rest of y'all do that? Like, what do we do here?
I cast message back, and in his ear, I whisper, "I can do this," and then I'm gonna conjure a ale mug out of thin air, and it's gonna pop in my hand.
Oh, that's
Okay.
cool.
So
All right.
It doesn't
So-
have anything in it though. I can't conjure liquids.
Yeah. I
Unfortunately.
I should let you know I'm only so with the hocus pocus. I mainly focus with this thing, and he just throws his axe across the room, and he just dunks into the wall.
Oh, it's one
oh,
of these
wh-
kinds of
what-
establishments.
The axe thunks into the wall. Right as the door opens, and into the room strides a peculiar-looking figure. A tall man, fairly slender, walking towards you slowly with a bit of a limp. He is cowled with a robe and hood over his face, but as he approaches the table, he calmly lowers the cowl of his long brown cloak, revealing an unusual visage. The man's face is lordly, but his gaze is furtive as he looks around the room almost anxiously. His attire is opulent and fine, but his posture is closer to that of a frightened animal. The man's movements and mannerisms have a programmed air about them, as if he is rehearsing a scene that he's practiced numerous times as he approaches your table. His fine garments are heavily aged, and the lower edge of his chin bears a scar that angles up his cheek and disappears behind long hair that covers his ears. Instead of a ridge of healed tissue, the scar reveals a fissure like a fine line of white, almost like porcelain, against the smudged cheek. Without introducing himself or asking permission, he pulls up a stool and sits and takes a moment to brush dust off of his stately robes.
Hello.
Oh, hi. Hello.
Hello.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you just not gonna give us your name or nothing there, friend?
He looks directly at you, Alphonse, and he says, "It's good you have arrived."
It's alright.
I mean, I
And
guess
promptly, too. I am Ari, servant of House Corvinaris, and you are Alphonse, wayward progeny, scion.
You what?
Yes.
Look around. Yeah, it was in the letter you didn't read.
Yeah, it was in the letter. I'm not surprised by this information at all.
I would normally say at your service, but I am afraid the current situation requires you to be of aid.
Very well.
Yes. Except no. Things are not well. Not well at all.
I'm just looking between both of them and their eyes. They're staring, unblinking eyes.
Ari
Yeah,
seems,
Charlotte's just like sitting with like expectation, just like waiting for the tea. Just like, what are we doing? What's going on?
Ari
Maze
seems
lights his pipe
strangely
with a spark.
unfazed by Alphonse's steely gaze. Kate and her staff come in with food and drink, and she asks Ari if he wants anything to drink himself. He does look to her and say, "Water, cold, ice, if you can." Eventually, she brings back a tankard of water, not cold, no ice. Ari looks at it distastefully, and with a twist of his hand, you see a rime of frost cover over the mug, and the water chills to ice cold. He takes a heavy draught of it, but doesn't particularly look refreshed.
I think Fly's gonna kind of lean in a little bit, to Ari and go. So you caught one in the face, huh, buddy? You gotta keep your guard up.
Yes, I should have kept my guard up. My guard was not up.
What is
Anyways,
Noted, because you caught one.
You said that the scar looked like it was white porcelain underneath. Can I investigate that? Like, not like touch him, but I'm just trying to glance to see if I can glean what that.
Yeah, could I like medicine check
sounds
to see something
weird.
like
yeah, you may each roll medicine. Please, if you would be so good as to do a blind roll, and I'll let you know how
Okay.
effectively you did.
Blind GM roll. Medicine, not investigation.
Medicine, yes, in this case, yes. to understand his physiology.
Good thing I get to look on the screen.
Cheater.
I won't
Actually,
look.
no,
but
I don't think so. I don't think Matt can see it either. I think he's.
I
Just...
Yeah,
just-
no, it's not up there.
I just saw my dice roll and I saw what it landed
Yeah,
on.
I see him.
You are not sure that this is a normal scar. Certainly, it doesn't look like it. In fact, you're quite sure that whatever happened to heal this wound, it's almost like something was left behind.
No,
Or
see,
that it
that's
exposed something underneath. It's hard to tell.
You probably should have gotten like stitches done or something. Little salve ointment. I could throw something together. If there's wood. nearby.
Maze, I don't think this gentleman came here to talk about the scar on his face.
I mean, you gotta wear those with pride, baby.
I
why
believe
have
we were
you-
having a conversation with Alphonse.
Our house bears many scars. Mine are the least among them. 20 years ago, Alphonse, you were a child. House Corvinaris was a celebrated and venerable estate. Noble rulers of these lands, including this town and the surrounding countryside. We presided from the seat at Raventree, a great manor house, several miles from here, further north. As you may know, if you have asked, or perhaps not, the Corvinaris family has been absent from Raventree for nigh 20 years. Their disappearance was sudden, ill-omened, unexpected.
As was mine.
Yes. It was the eve of a great party. Remembrance celebration. Remembrance for Yelana. There were friends, nobles, suitors, allies, all gathered for the ceremony, revelry in the halls. None who attended the event returned.
So what does that have to do with Alphonse?
Well, I need his help. I need to know. We need to fix it. I was away. House business. I returned after my communiques went unanswered for too long. Too long to be mere misfortune. I returned to find the estate deserted. Signs were terrible, tragic. Violence etched upon the walls. I, of course, undertook investigation, but whatever terrible curse caused House Corvinaris to vanish, there were echoes, violent echoes, dangers which now lurked in every corner, stalking the hallways.
It's a haunted house.
Now we're talking.
I scoot in, and my feet, which are too high to reach the ground, start kicking excitedly.
This is why I need you, Alphonse. You are important. You are an heir. You are a descendant. I lack the capability to unlock the magical seals. I lack the blood of Corvinaris running through my veins. And so I waited. I waited for 20 years, Alphonse, for you to be ready for this burden. The time has come to reopen the halls of Raventree and to discover what remains of the family that I am sworn to serve. We must learn what happened. We must fix it.
I am here, but I do not act for the benefit of you or the family. I am here for me.
Yes. Yes, I understand. I knew that you would require something, and you shall have it. It is good that you brought allies. You will need their help with this. I regret to say that Raventree Estate is not a peaceful place.
Well, that's why we brought this guy. And I pat Vlad on the forearm.
Yeah, I dig the violence. Speaking of the violence, what exact threats are we worried about here? Like, what's waiting for us? Seemed a bit vague on that.
I wish I could tell you specifics, but whatever happened, it left echoes. Echoes of violence, of division, of something came through, something changed the estate, or the estate was changed. I know not, but the souls that were at the remembrance celebration, some remain twisted, some are gone. I need your help to discover. You must discover what happened, learn the truth, reclaim the estate.
GM, might I do an insight check?
Yeah, seriously.
You certainly may. I would request, if you can, to roll it blindly, but if not, no worries.
Let's see. I don't know how this is going to. Yay! I privately rolled some dice.
Super. You find this individual to be somewhat inscrutable. His attitude his bearing is strange.
Yeah.
This is not the way that most people communicate.
His whole deal is completely baffling to a hobgoblin because it's all like, there's this thing that I want done, but I can't do it. Like, what is this? You can't do it. So it's just, Vlad's just looking at him very, okay, guy, yeah. We'll go beat up those echoes.
You need incentive, I understand. You, Alphonse, stand as the family's inheritor. What wealth and knowledge you can claim can be yours. Worldly treasures, yes, but esoteric mysteries also. You will find much that interests you, perhaps your companions also. But above all else, you must discover the truth. Does Lord Darius yet live, and what of his children? Find them, and return to me.
Hey, buddy, I don't care about the politics of all this and whatnot, but I'm very curious. Maybe you can explain it to me real simple. What exactly are you getting out of this? Just curious.
What am I getting? I need the Corvinaris family to return. I need Raventree Estate to be restored. I need to serve. I am the family's faithful servant.
Right, well then couldn't you just like come back with Alphonse if he's the last living member of the family or whatever, like just serve him. It's just done, right? Like what's
There's a big house at stake.
Yeah, well, didn't Kate say that it was like a ruin? So are we just gonna go futz about in a...
Oh, Dr. Charlotte, it probably has lots of magical items inside of it.
Yeah, but if it's like ruined and haunted...
Magical items can't get destroyed. I read it in my history of magical items.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong. I mean, I'm not unopposed to doing a bit of looting.
I had no idea Alphonse was loaded, and this new information, I kind of want to check out his digs.
I know. I just want to know why you just can't why you have to be with the house. You know, like why? Like, is it like a real estate sort of based loyalty, or is it more like, you know, because if you're talking like lineage, then why aren't you just like following Alphonse around, you know, carrying his trunk and that sort of thing?
Maybe the lineage doesn't count unless they have a house. These humans are weird.
Yeah, no, I was like,
I
it just
don't
seems
really
like
know
very
how the nobility
arbitrary.
works around here. I am not from these parts.
The power and authority and legacy, even, of House Corvinaris is entwined with Raventree Estate. The seals that protect its sanctum, only you, Alphonse. You have the blood. It must be you.
Yeah, right. Point of order, because I've read about this sort of thing. How much of Alphonse's blood do we need to like open the seal? Because it's like if there's gonna be a thing where it's like we do the whole thing and then at the end we have to like stab our friend, I'm not doing it. No.
I mean, I'll stab a guy,
is it
but
just
you
like
know.
a little like pinprick? Because I'm all
Well,
right
we're
with
not
that.
gonna
but,
stab
like,
Alphonse.
is this
I mean,
something
if
like
you
one-
ask me to, like, I'll
You know what I
do
mean?
it.
Collect some leeches
But
if
you
you
know-
want, just to like have it held in bags for later.
I don't really mind.
I do not
Yeah,
believe.
I'm just saying, like, you never know with like curses. You can't really trust them.
I do not believe that exsanguination will be required, but
That is another fabulous word.
That was a good
Exsanguination.
word. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good word. That's like 2 in one day.
Oh crap! I left my axe in the door. He just raises his hand and he just goes flying to his hand.
ooh,
Oh, what
Like,
a
that's a
fun
party
little
trick.
trick. How much does that axe weigh?
About 7 pounds.
7?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna conjure one that looks just like it, but it's obviously not quite the same in my hands. And I'm like, ha!
Neat.
And I'm gonna hand it to my mage hand, which just holds it for me.
There's
There.
now just a wayward axe floating in the room.
Right, Ori. Well, these two are fucking about. Do you mind just giving us a second with our friends here, just real quick? Do you mind pissing off?
you require conference. Yes,
Yeah.
I understand. I
Right.
will depart. I have procured a room here at the inn, this establishment. I will stay. I will offer you what help I can, but I have accommodation for the month. Come see me before you depart. If you have questions or need advice, perhaps, I will be available.
But before he leaves, Maze is just gonna like gingerly walk up to him and poke him.
Please, you can't just pull people. I am so sorry, sir. He's not from here.
You
He's
poke him.
still-
He does respond. He feels corporeal. He feels of flesh and blood. He recoils back, though, skiddishly.
Cool, not a ghost.
Careful.
I was about to like.
I'm like
leave.
pulling Maze back and standing
As he
between them.
recoils, his tankard flies from his hand clumsily and shatters upon the ground.
Oh, before
Aw.
it shatters on the ground, can my mage hand attempt to catch it? It's gonna
You may
drop
roll
the
a
axe.
sleight of hand check to see if your mage
Okay.
hand is able to catch the tankard.
Okay. I feel so bad for this poor man. I don't have a lot of sleight of hand.
I mean, I didn't deck the dude.
The conjured axe is going to disappear
Uh-huh.
as the mage hand drops it, and it's gonna try and grab the tankard for him.
The hand swipes through the air. The tankard shatters as the hand just misses it. Oh no, it broken.
I'm so
stoops-
sorry. I'm gonna just start picking up the pieces and like try to. I'm so
I do
sorry.
that
I'm
all the
so
time. I
sorry, I'm
forget
so
things
Sorry.
It's
fall.
all right. It's all right.
Here.
Thank you. He raises his hand and places it on the fragments and mutters a phrase, and they stitch back together, repairing the tankard in your hands. And in your hands, you're left with the unbroken tankard, as if it were. It's even cleaner than it was before, I think.
Oh,
Show
that's
off.
amazing. You know, I almost learned that spell, but I decided I would rather have that stupid thing. And she points shamefully at the hand that like goes.
Hand of Magi, telekinesis. Potent, useful. Many situations demand it. A wise choice.
Oh, blushes. You know the arcane arts, I see.
Not for some time. And he turns to leave.
Okay, Alphonse, you have some explaining to do.
Yeah, right. That was real weird.
What do I have to explain?
You're kind of like the reason we're all here.
Right.
What? Okay, you're a scion?
The scion. Yes.
Is this
That
why
was
you
also-
keep
that was
passing
also-
classes?
What did you say?
Is this why you keep passing classes without showing up to school?
I guess we definitely get different treatment. but I don't think we paid our way. No.
No, I didn't mean pay my way. I mean just you're always like so good at everything.
We were supposed to be paying for classes.
Right.
Unbeknownst perhaps to Alphonse, there is in fact tuition charged at the academy. Alphonse, you're not sure how that's been working out for you because you certainly haven't been paying it.
Right, Alphonse, here, this is my question, and this is a real, honest question. Do you want to do this? Like, is this something that you actually want to do? Because if you don't, if you're not comfortable with it, we're certainly not going to force you into like a haunted house against your will. And that guy seemed, I don't want to say sketchy, but he gave me the creeps.
Oh, he was just nervous.
Oh no,
yeah.
no, he's mad sketchy.
I'm not fully
No.
convinced that he's, a living creature.
Yeah,
What?
but like, Alphonse, like, what are your thoughts on this? Like, what are you thinking right now?
As I told Ari, I'm not doing it for him. I'm not doing it for my family. I'm doing it for me, and understanding my own self.
Well, what do you know about your family?
I know that I know my mother vaguely, but not much else.
Is she still around?
I don't know.
She starts to kind of take her hat off, but then thinks maybe not.
I
Was
just
she
spoke
at
with
the
me.
party 20 years ago?
I don't know.
Where were you 20 years ago? You're older than 20.
I left.
Like the family or the party?
The family.
Were you staying with like a estranged uncle, or did you run away with a little girl or a little boy?
No,
Huh.
I made my way.
Right. So you left your family, and then they had a party, and then everyone at the party like just disappeared, and now the house is haunted and it's in ruins, and then you get a mysterious letter saying, "Hey, come back and like pour your blood on a sigil, and it'll magically fix the house and bring your family back from the plane from which they've been kidnapped." Is that sort of the gist of it?
That seems like the correct order of events, yes.
Did you know that they got tisked away to another plane or dead or whatever?
This was the first I've heard of it.
Oh, so this whole time you just thought they were...
They just told them to stop calling
That face, your eyes are unblinking, and I swear if you got into poker, you would make so much money.
Poku?
No, I didn't. I mean, I just poked him once. Why do we keep
You
going
guys
back?
are... I am so frustrated that I'm gonna conjure a deck of playing cards and splash them into Maze's face. Like, is that, and they're just gonna kind of like disappear as they, like, it came out of my sleeve, and they're just gonna kind of like sparkle and fade as they get past a certain distance. But I've clearly exacerbated that I'm not being understood.
I only got one question for you, Alf. You sure you want to do this? And you're doing it just for you, right?
Absolutely.
All right, good enough.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Well, from the sounds of from our friend there, it's like whatever's in your place is good and creepy. I'm hoping either one I have a good story about how I split a ghost in half and then skied on the both halves down a mountain, or one of them takes me out in a glorious battle that involves an explosion somehow. I'm looking at you, Charlotte.
I just very quickly, how many times in history, in the history of your people, has someone been sort of cleft in twain and then skied upon? Like, would this be a first, or is this
I
a
think
thing?
that's the first.
So I'm very glad that you all asked that. Groglick the third attempted it, but the problem was he's terrible at fractions. So he cut a guy into a third, so he had to more snowboard it. I want a perfect cleave for the ski.
Right. Are you going like long ways or like half?
Oh, definitely long ways. You gotta
That's
be
what I
long
was
ways.
picturing.
So
Right. I'm
2
glad you
arms.
cleared that up. It felt really important to spend time on that.
Alphonse is scratching his head, wondering where this conversation went.
Yes, I digress. Can I ask a favor, Alphonse?
Of course.
If it is the case that your family was whisked away to another dimension and left some kind of extra dimensional or extra planar residue, may I study anything that it might have touched?
I have no opinion.
I will take that as an enthusiastic yes.
I can't help but notice you seem real interested with other planes. Have you had any experience with them?
That is my major at school. I'm doing my undergrad at the academy, extra dimensional or transdimensional travel and extraplanar biology is my minor, and I'm really hoping to make some breakthroughs in the industry. You know, Dr. Dr. Charlotte is a big inspiration to me. She does beautiful work in the field, but I'm hoping to kind of carve out a new niche for myself and really make a name for the underglows.
Oh, well, that was a lot of words, but
it was a shocking amount of words. Just saying. Yeah.
You know, sometimes if you're ever interested, I can actually kind of call in some magic from my home plane.
Can you? Wait, you can summon Fae?
Well, not Fae exactly. Just remnants, things that I remember that were important to me.
One time, I tried to summon in a great spirit of the wind from the great elemental plane of air, and I accidentally brought this lug into this dimension, and I slap Maze.
Who hasn't been paying attention and just kind of like, oh yeah, I'm her research project.
Yes. Technically, you are my familiar because I summoned you, but you're not very obedient.
You never made a contract. I told you paperwork's big. You have to do it in like 5 different languages too.
Okay, you're not a devil. Anyways.
Right, so litigations on familiars aside. All right, Alphonse, let's get back on track. All right, so is this a thing that you want to do? It's important to you, yeah?
Yes.
Right. 2, when do we start?
As soon as possible.
All right.
I mean, do you want to just like, do you think we should talk to anyone else? Maybe like, historian Abigail was right earlier. Like there might be like stories about things that happened, or people might have seen something that night, or like since then, people poking around the ruins, like, oh no, yeah, there's this spider monster on the 2nd floor. Be careful, like you might useful information.
I don't have much patience for research, but if you wish, we can.
He does not have patience for research.
Right, neither do I, but how about this? If we're planning a heist, we need to know what we're going into, right? Like, it doesn't have to be academic. We can put some, like, fun spins on it, right? Like, it's information gathering, so we don't, fucking die. So, like, maybe we might want to do that. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to, like, push you one way or the other. I just personally do not want to die. So that's sort of my goal here,
Well, plans have a way of coming apart if you lean on them too much.
Right. Do you want me to die? Like, I could just go.
We don't have to make a plan, but we should at least know what to expect. Maybe.
I will follow your lead in this case.
What? But you're the boss.
Yeah, it's your letter, mate. Like, I feel like at some point you're the one making the calls here.
Alf, I got you, buddy. I know exactly what we gotta do here.
As I say, I have no patience for research, so I defer to you in this case.
Okay, well, I have all the patience in the world for research, so I will be.
You're right. Should we get like a committee together? Like, what do you think?
Yes, Maze, you will be the back upon which I put my book to write on.
Vlad is slamming his hand on the table. He's just going, does anybody know about the Raven House place with echoes.
Oh,
I think we're in the back room though, right?
Yeah,
So
we
I mean-
are. We're like the
Yeah.
only
You're
ones
in the back room,
room.
and Kate has made it clear that you're not to be disturbed.
you cut like the camera cuts to the main room, and they're all just minding their own business, and you just hear from the other side of the wall, "Does everybody know?" And everybody knows.
Yes.
Right,
There is no
um,
response, although it is possible that there may be townsfolk around town that have perspectives.
Yeah.
You know who we should
Alphonse?
ask?
What?
Okay,
Johan?
Johan, the bard, might have some stories. Bards
Yeah.
love ghost stories.
Do we want to check with the lot in the tavern though? Because I could take care of that like right quick if you want.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right,
do that. I'll start a spell to find you.
Charlotte just marches to the door and like kicks it open, and just like literally yells into like the tavern. She says, "Oh, you lot!"
That's
Any of
literally
you-
how she begins class every time.
Right, it is also how she begins the pub crawl, and she says, like, "Oh, you lot, many of you lot seen anything funny at that ruin up the hill? If you have, come into this room. We're doing an informal survey for a research project. It's all on the up and up. And if you ask any questions, just come talk to us. Thank you." And then she like awkwardly puts the door back on its hinges and like closes it.
That's exactly how she announced her workshop. That's how we met. You were holding your workshop and you kicked the door in.
She opens the door one more time. Like, form a line or something. I don't want to get mobbed. We want to take, like, detailed reports. And then shuts again. And then she turns
love
to the
it.
group and, like, shrugs. She's like,
Roll-
listen, we can sit here talking all day, but, like, we're going to have to get something done, right?
I'll have you roll a persuasion check to see if
Oh.
you're able to coax a source to come forward.
Let me just
Can
go
I
ahead and
add
open up my
something to
character
that?
sheet here on Foundry VTT so I can do that. Here we go. That was terrible. That was a 3.
Oh, it was so close to a 19.
You meet with a lot of skeptical faces, although there is one person from the bar who takes long enough to put their tankard down and shamble over towards you with a little bit of a imbalanced gait. This person looks like they might have had one or two too many, and given the hour, that is saying something.
Right, what time is it? Oh, it's like noon. All right.
Oh, it's noon? That's why I wear my hat. I hate the sunlight.
Well, I know the estate.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Tybor. Tybor the farmer.
Right, so what do you know?
Well, there's demons in the house.
What?
Definitely demons.
Awesome.
Insight.
It's a portal to hell, that house.
Yes.
Right, now
Portal.
when you say that, do you mean, have you seen the demons with your own eyes, or have you heard like people talking at the bar and now you're like,
I've seen demons.
right? What kind of demons? What they
I
look
feel like
like?
Vlad and Abby are lighting up at this knowledge, but for completely different reasons.
They had great gaping maw, and
Well, I
talons.
could bite a man in
Does
half.
it smell like
I-
brimstone and sulfur?
They smelled of brimstone and
Oh, yes.
sulfur.
And
And
big
sulfur,
wings too,
sulfur,
probably,
sulfur.
right? Yeah.
Not all devils and demons have wings. Wait, was it a devil or was it a demon?
Did it have wings?
Was it a gate to hell or a gate to the abyss?
Could have bite a man in half with one bite.
Right. Let's
Yes.
not confuse him with too many questions at once. All right, question number 1: did they have big wings?
Yes.
Right. Question number 2: have you seen this portal thing? Like, where is it? What does it look like?
You are paying for this information. right?
Yeah, right. You will be compensated for participating in our survey.
Yeah, there's
right.
a portal to hell.
Can I insight check him?
Yeah, I want
Yeah.
to roll insight.
You may insight check.
I also would like to insight with my -1 insight.
I didn't take a lot of insight because I figured we'd have the rest of the party for that.
Between several of you pretty easily get the sense that this man is making things up as he goes. However,
I want to troll him then.
Yeah,
I want to be like, okay, did they have mermaid tails?
do demons have...
Yes.
Yes,
only-
yeah. Oh, yes. Terrible
Okay.
tails.
And were they
Fins.
going moo moo like demons do?
I think so.
Yeah.
Everybody knows demons don't go move.
Yeah, I
you
turned to the party.
all
He's full
over
of
the moor.
shit.
Demon cows, definitely.
Moo.
Someone from
Moo. Moo.
someone from an adjoining table turns and says, "Oh, shut it, Tybor. You're full of shit. Here,
Yeah,
come
right,
over
this
here.
is
I'll tell you
useless.
something real."
Oh, all right. What do you got?
Who's saying it? What's this guy like?
So, at this adjoining table, there seems to be someone who's just minding their own business, whittling a little bit. They've got a little fishing tackle box next to them on an empty stool. Maybe they're waiting for someone. It's hard to say.
What is your name?
Bannon.
Bannon. Going to just
Bannon.
write that down somewhere.
I'm not that important, lass.
Everyone is important, sweetie. I'll
Yeah,
find
well, you
you
never
later.
know.
I'll
Yeah.
make
She also
I
writes
will
down
make sure.
everything, so the importance is kind
Yes.
of diminished.
Hey!
I've got a tale to tell you about that house.
All right. What is it, Bannon?
Rumor is, and unlike that shithead over there, I'll acknowledge that this ain't more than rumor, but rumor is, anyone who sleeps overnight in the old Raventree Estate will, be it inside or outside the house, wherever, murdered in their sleep, without fail.
Murdered by a person? Or do they just die?
Well, a murder, I believe, I believe would imply a second actor,
Well, yes.
an
exactly.
antagonist, if you will.
What kind of wounds do they have?
Well, you see, nobody knows. Because worse still, if you die in the grounds, your soul ends up trapped there forever,
Well, how do
unable
you know
to
that-
escape.
Well, then
I don't have to
how-
worry
how-
about that. I sleep real violent.
How?
If nobody's surviving this, how do we know that nobody's surviving this?
Well, that's why
Yeah.
it's a rumor, son.
Well, I just mean, how do you know it's a murder and not dying of natural causes or magical causes?
I mean, it's a statistical unlikelihood that everyone who goes dies. That'd be like a weird coincidence.
Unless
So,
someone left a gas leak
yeah, but I mean, I feel
and they
like
sleep there, and I don't know if they've invented the way to make natural gas smell like rotten eggs at this time period yet, so they have no idea, and they
Yeah.
spend the night, and then they.
Well, I can tell
it
you.
was nothing. It was nothing suspicious going on. It was just a wicked case of carbon monoxide poisoning.
I don't know what that is, but I can tell you for sure that no one who goes up to Raventree, looting, exploring, they don't come back. We don't go there. And you shouldn't neither.
Means all the
Alright.
stuff's still there.
Nobody
Yeah.
tells me what to do. I'm going up there specifically because you told me not to.
Okay, though, Vlad, you
Huh?
don't want to die of carbon monoxide poisoning, because that's even lamer than getting hit by a carriage.
Yeah.
Hey, me fuck. Didn't see it coming.
Damn, you brought that
Yeah,
up
but
without any
anybody-
sympathy. Where'd the hat go?
Oh,
That's fine.
just
It's
saying.
fine.
I'm just saying, maybe we should bring a gas mask while or some protection.
I got real angry lugs. I'll be fine.
I can hold my breath indefinitely.
Oh, shut up. I wonder if I put my head under your cloak, can I breathe your fresh air?
Right, Bannon,
I
you
don't
have been
make
wonderfully
fresh air.
useful. Me and my friends are going to take our leave now, but thank you so much for that information. I really appreciate it.
Hey, just one question, if I may. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Doctor. How long does it take to get to this place from here?
Oh. If you're planning to go, you might as well leave your coin purse behind with old Bannon. You won't be needing it.
Man, if you want my
That's
coin,
very
Do
funny.
that. No.
man, if you want my coin, you're going to have to take it from me.
I think I'm all right then.
All right, but how long do you think it'll take there, Bannon?
Well, if you are determined to go, foolish as that may be, it's about 3 hours north.
Oh, that's no time at all. All right, so everybody, we can keep asking random folks about this place, or we can get there and
I think we need to find out if they are being murdered or if, again, there's a natural thing happening that we are going to be exposed to.
I think like they're being. I don't know for sure, but it sounds like they're being like naturally murdered. Like there's some suspicious things going on. But like maybe what we do is like we get Ori and we ask Ori to come with us on the journey, and then we can use that 3 hours to like talk to him and like get some advice, and then we go. Would that work?
Wait, maybe it's a portal. Maybe the
Yeah.
whole house is a portal. If no one's coming back, who says they're dying? No one saw a body.
I mean,
Yeah. But I mean, the only real way to know is to like go look for ourselves.
go.
You know?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, and if you do the math, the likelihood of us getting to a scrap, a legendary scrap, here versus there, and it's much higher over there. So if we're all agreeable, let's go scion that Raven Hill.
Yeah, Alphonse, it's your family's home and it's your ancestral grounds. What do you think? We're all fucking about over here, but like, what do you want to do?
I'm just curious if this is how you research at the school.
I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
You
honestly,
you
like,
should really think about coming to class.
yeah,
I
Right.
taught
It's
one
not-
recently.
yeah. Listen, Alphonse, there's more than one way to gain experience in the world, right? Like you can read it in a book, or you can get up, you can go out, you can get your hands dirty, and you can do it your own self. And that's how I like to do a lot of my research. So like, I appreciate what you're saying, but I'm saying if we're going to find out what's going on, I think the only way to do it is to go and to put eyes on it and sort of, whatever. But again, your family's home. I don't want to speak for you.
I'm perfectly agreeable to simply going now. Although I think we wanted to speak with Johan.
I mean, I think we all want to speak with Johan, but I don't think we want to speak with Johan.
I
If you
mean,
know
I
what
don't think I want to do a lot of talking when it comes to that guy. He was real
I mean,
cute
I
in the
would yo
face.
his horn, if you know what I mean.
You know what I'm saying?
And then,
Oh my
and then
God,
Charlotte high fives Vlad.
There it is, right
Doctor,
there.
please. I
I'm
wasn't
blushing.
just straight face, like, what?
I would be covering Maze's ears, but I can't reach. So
Earmuffs.
one of I get my mage hand appears on one of his
Just
ears.
caresses the side of my face.
I don't know.
Ugh.
You might make some subtle, or in some cases perhaps not so subtle, inquiries about where Johan might be found, but you would learn that he's actually not in town. It appears that whatever business he was on has taken him beyond the confines of Ferncombe.
Right,
It
well,
would
that
appear
answers
that Johan is gone. I tried to make it rhyme more, but
Yo, God.
Oh, it's really good.
Yo,
It was
gone.
good,
yeah, I'm not one for humor, not one of those fake types.
Also, I just want to say, I'm going on the record right now. If this whole fucking thing turns out to be like Johan in like a Scooby-Doo mask, I'm gonna kill him. I'm stabbing him. I don't
I'm
care how
just
pretty
kidding.
he is.
Wait,
I'm not
but-
doing it. I'm not.
but-
If he's like, oh,
but-
I'm a bard and this is my spooky haunted house,
but
and he's got a whole
Dr.
like
Charlotte,
what?
enemies to lovers.
Yeah, I know, but like, if he's running like a con on the whole town, you know. I'm
Enemies
just saying, I've seen it
delivered.
once.
Look,
It's real
You've
hard to
actually
make.
seen it once.
I read a lot of books.
You do. It's all right. We can. Well, you have to be his enemy first before we can become his lover. So, you know, I'm just saying. But all right. Anyway, we go into this house. What are we doing? Someone please make a decision.
You all
I made
vow
mine.
to embark on this journey, and making any final preparations that you need to. You gather in front of Kate's Rest, ready to embark upon your venture. Ari greets you on your way out and looks uncomfortable, but approving of the fact that you are making preparations to leave.
Yeah, someone don't sit right about that guy. I feel it. I feel it. I don't know where, but somewhere around this area, that guy's.
He is in fact here with you at the moment as he approaches and inquires if there's anything he can do for you before you depart.
I would like to purchase some reagents before we go.
I
Is
believe there is an apothecary, old man, I believe. Oh, I don't know. Around town, you can ask.
Absolutely. I just need a couple of things for a spell for before we go.
It is not robustly provisioned when last I visited.
I just need charcoal, incense, and some herbs worth 10 gold that I can burn
You should
in a
be
fire in a
able to
brazier.
procure those reagents there.
Excellent.
I would offer from my own stores, but I...
Oh, you look like you need them way more than I do.
Do
honestly.
you have a store?
No, my
No,
belongings.
not that kind. Maze, sometimes the word stores just means personal collection of things.
Verbal
know.
communication has been the weirdest thing since I've gotten
know.
here.
They usually just stare at each other. You and Alphonse, that's why you get along so well.
I will eagerly await news. Have you means to contact me?
I
Do you
mean,
speak bird?
Would you like to teach me a spell that will let me contact you at long range?
My desires are immaterial in this. I have not the ability.
I mean, I can send Nox to you, and he snaps his finger, and there's a hawk in his hand.
Oh,
Oh,
That works.
Well, I mean, you got your familiar. I didn't want to introduce Nox to you all because he's not a storm.
I'm not a familiar.
I have to summon my familiar when we have a moment, but no. That is a very beautiful, beautiful hawk.
Thank you. He does tricks and he does like a little flip.
It's very obedient. See, Maze, why can't you do flips when I ask you to?
you may send word by avian companion or by other means. I will be here. I hope
Alright.
you are successful. Please do not perish.
Only if it's epic. Let's go, everybody.
Let's go.
Let's go. Go team.
Look both ways before you cross the.
And so
road.
you find yourselves
That's
on
the
Very
the road.
wrong
funny.
You find yourselves on the road, heading even further north towards
Bef-
Raventree.
Before we had left, can we just say we don't have to RP it that I did my little
Yes,
little
you
thing?
absolutely may visit the apothecary. It
Okay.
has the reagents you need.
Then I was able to summon my familiar, which is actually an owl.
Ooh.
A little fey owl, and I feel
Healing
like my
birds.
owl is gonna be pecking around your owl or your hawk. Just
Yes,
kind
my
of-
Fey. He's also a Fey Hawk. So yeah.
Oh yeah, they're totally gonna
This
be.
is fabulous.
Maybe they come from the same neighborhood in the Fae. I haven't picked a name yet though.
You set forth upon the road. It is unremarkable, although perhaps the only remark worth making is that it is particularly dreary. You travel north through a fog-shrouded forest, the sounds of wildlife echoing around your ears as you are now well within the wilderness outlying the farming community of Ferncombe. There is but one road heading in this direction, and therefore there is little chance of getting lost. Um, However, it does seem that each stretch of the road that you journey upon breeds a certain familiarity which causes you to question if you've been here before.
Have I been here before? I don't think so, but
I'm sure I have.
Does it feel like we're going in circles? Is it like that kind of deal?
It does not, but there is a certain aspect of sameness to the trees that a particular knot or a shape of the branches, it's like it repeated without you knowing, but maybe it's just a trick of your imagination.
If Maze like becomes aware of this, he will walk up to like one of the trees and just grow a like bright purple flower out of it, and then just keep walking.
Clever. You cause a flower to blossom out of the side of one of the trunks, and it is a bloom of color in an otherwise desaturated and fairly gloomy wilderness. You journey on for another hour, and you feel as if you've seen familiar trees, and yet none of them bear that signature blossom.
I don't know how to roll for this, but like how like regular is it? Does it feel like a copy paste where it's like every seventh tree has like the weird knot, and you know what I mean? Like does it feel like that kind of thing where it's like,
or is it like every hour?
That Warcraft 3 ground texture.
You
yeah.
are so uncertain that you may very well be simply imagining this.
Oh,
It is by no means an obvious repetition, if there is even any repetition at all. It could be simply the nature of this environment that has a certain sameness about it.
Oh, sure. Hey, Alphonse,
Yes.
was it always this creepy, like when you were a kid?
I recall growing up in such an environment. It feels more like home than I've ever felt.
This explains so much about your personality.
Honestly, yeah. I wasn't gonna say anything, but Abby, thank you for saying something.
Yeah, you know, that's not
yeah.
a bad thing. It's good.
No, it's not. It's
like,
not. It's like it's the vibe, you know?
know,
It's like
yeah.
yeah.
You know, every party
Right.
needs at least one vibe. One
Yeah, it's
spooky
like
force vibe.
It's like fog, you know. It's like a perma fog sort of situation.
With
yeah.
piercing eyes, like they're blue or
Yeah.
maybe gray. I can't
Yeah,
hold your
Franz,
gaze for
I
long.
just like while we're traveling, like I just want to like what is it with the blanket? Like, is it what's going on there? Like, I'm not judging. I just want to know, like, for my own
It's very
edification.
As I say, I'm here to learn about myself.
You don't know why you don't blink. Like, you never went to a doctor. Like
Maybe-
I don't think he literally doesn't blink.
Like, what's
Maybe.
your like eye drop budget? Like, just monthly.
No, Dr. Charlotte, you can't just ask people what their medical bills are.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. It's like, are we doing like with fantasy socialized medicine? So it's fine. It's very affordable.
I'm just saying, there's all this fog and there's nothing to kill. This is kind of a bummer.
Okay, are you trying to
Mm.
die
I've-
today, or are you
Yeah,
just
Like,
trying to
I
make
gotta-
A
sure?
glorious end is required.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
like,
saying.
how? That was my question, Vlad. Like, this is for you. Now we're just gonna do like, this is an Aaron Sorkin walking. And get
Yeah, no,
things out to
bring
each other.
it on.
But-
I've got a lot of issues. Let's go.
But like, how imminently are you trying to like get to your demise?
Because
Like, is
we're,
it sort of like
we're in
a-
proximity with you. We don't want to demise.
Yeah,
literally.
because
Well,
like I don't want you to die like tomorrow. Or are you like just hoping for it like all the
I
time?
mean,
Like,
well-
what's your deal?
Well, the thing was that my father was signed up to do an epic battle. He was
Right.
meant to go off to fight a great evil, And
Right.
it was one of those things. He just kept putting it off, and then the
Yeah.
day he's like, you know what, today's the day. Today's the day. He got his armor and got
Right.
his weapons, went off to go fight, and then bam, just splat, and so
Have you ever thought about though, like, did you ever check the cart? Like, maybe the cart was like profoundly evil.
no, it was carrying hay,
Oh,
nothing.
right.
Yeah,
Was it
Vlad,
evil?
Hey.
Vlad,
No,
I will make a pact with you right now. If I
Yes.
get the sense you are about to die a miserably lame death, I promise on my honor as an underglow that I will cast fireball on you first. And you can go
Well,
out
that's the
in a
nicest thing.
blaze.
Listen, I need you to know I am from the Feywild, and so this promise, it's real severe to me if you're saying this. Like, I will hold you to this until the day that we both die.
Oh shit, did I just promise to blow my friend up if he looks like he's gonna die for
Yeah,
lame
you did.
causes?
And
You know
swear,
what?
I
Yeah,
swear.
Okay, question. Can I
Yes?
amend it? Can I amend it so it doesn't have to specifically be fireball as long as it's just a cool and violent, like super violent death?
I feel like there's a level of destruction that you set us to standard with fireball, and if I take anything less
You
than
might
that, I'm
wanna,
really
like-
kinda.
You know what?
Also, while you're making like deals with the Fae, what you might want to do is like add like a consent moment, like at the end, like you can be like, "Are you sure?" And then Vlad could be like, "Do
Oh,
it,"
yes,
and then that
yes.
way you
I
like
need
know for
verification.
sure.
Yes,
like
yeah,
make sure
yeah.
there's like a
a
verification
consent clause. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want you to
yeah.
look at me in that moment, and we're gonna lock eyes, and I want you to just like give me a, and I will know when
Listen,
you
if
wink.
I say banana, don't kill me.
It's like, what was the
wait.
name of your
You
pet
safe where it's
growing
banana.
up, or-
Wait. If you say banana, don't kill you or do kill
Yeah,
you?
if I say banana, don't kill me. If it looks bad and
No.
you're looking at me like, and I'm like, banana, just let it go. Just let it
Okay.
ride.
Yeah.
Let it
Okay,
Because
ride.
so,
So, what do we do?
If,
Do we-
if it,
Wait, yes.
Oh no, you go. No, I was gonna make a really terrible pun. I'm sorry. Just
Fuck,
keep
I
going.
want to hear the pun.
No, I was
said
gonna
very
say, well, this is
patiently.
how you know is the death isn't gonna be appealing, and then Charlotte.
Maze debates fireballing the whole party.
Okay, no. How does this work? Do we pinky promise? Do we Do we drink on it? Do we just say yes? I promise.
I mean, I kind of feel like it's a done deal. We've
It's
already
done?
agreed. Yeah.
I don't. I was expecting a Fey deal to have some magical like.
Okay, here you go.
Thought you
Here,
were
blow-
kiss.
Blow up. Oh.
He's actually going to reach over, and you see a flower appearing in his hand, and that flower is going to give you temporary hit points.
What?
It is the Fey gift of hospitality, so you get 1d6 plus 3 temporary hit points.
I will roll that right now. Oh my goodness. I am your best friend now. Roll how many?
1d6 plus 3.
What? I don't even know what you are. You are. Oh, that was a blind DM roll. Sorry.
That's fine. I will reveal it. You have not had the best of luck, but you do gain 4 temporary hit points.
It was just a little promise to kill him unless he says banana.
Unless I say banana, then you gotta
I
let it slip.
I cannot wait till that moment, that pivotal moment in this adventure where I look at him and he starts screaming banana. As I'm like,
Now, if you die and then I bring you back from the dead,
Listen,
then I can cast fireball on it.
if I have a 9 out of 10 death, don't bring me back. But if it's like a 7 out of 10 death, bring me back.
You got to go for another round.
Yeah, you gotta give it
Okay.
your best college try.
Well, as you're establishing this Fey bargain and traveling through these woods of occasional sameness, you almost surprise yourself when you step out of the narrowly shrouded path into a larger clearing that extends before you and actually veers off to the right, forming what appears to be the overgrown remnants of a fairly magnificent carriage drive, seemingly very out of place given the lack of an established road to this place. It sort of begins from nothing and leads down a open causeway where as you gaze between a copse of trees to the right, to the left, you see looming in the distance this stone edifice of a great manor house, illuminated from behind by the now approaching onset of pre-twilight.
You're muted.
Scarlet,
I said, sorry, this whole time I've had like a big sun umbrella covering me,
You
and
don't
as
need
it's
that.
like twilight, I'm like, ah.
Yes. In fact, you've not needed it as much for some time, because even though it is the day, there is a certain ambient gloom of this environment that you find striking.
It's so beautiful. I love the gloom.
The whole world has a sort of sense of, as if the color is somewhat removed from the environment here. You approach and you arrive at the gates of the manor house, looking at the exterior edifice before you. And I think that this is the ideal time for us to take a short break. And when we return, we will venture in to the ruined manor of Raventree to see what can be learned about the fate of what has occurred within. So we will be back in about 5 to 6, let's say 6 minutes, maybe 15 after. And in the meantime, we actually have the chance, for those of you who have been steadfastly watching us thus far, to win a copy of this adventure. So we're going to be putting a notice about the rules on the screen. All you have to do is be logged into Twitch while we're gone. We're going to roll it off, and we will be giving away a copy of the adventure to someone in chat while we are on break. So don't go anywhere. Pay attention to chat. Be logged in, and you have a chance to win this adventure that you can play with your own group. And without further ado, we will be back in about 5-6 minutes. Welcome back to Foundry Virtual Tabletop Presents A House Divided, Episode 1. We are back from break and on the brink of venturing into the foreboding and mysterious Raventree Estate, the house of Alphonse's supposed forebears. And we have a winner of our contest if they are here. Nox VS. Nox VS, if you're here, you actually are the winner of this adventure. If we don't hear anything back in chat, Matt, you can go ahead and roll again, and we'll choose another winner, and we'll see who we get. But Nox VS, if you're here, you actually are the winner of this adventure, so congratulations. And without further ado, I am going to go ahead and move back into the events of the adventure. I need to switch the audio.
I'm not gonna
Should've
lie,
done that.
I would not enter that house.
Oh, sure
Abby
you would.
might.
Sure you would.
Scarlet wants nothing to do with that house.
Vlad is sprinting towards that door.
A glorious end awaits. Matt, I think you better give it another spin. All right, as you approach the manor house, the estate stands atop a modest hill in a deep forest of mottled green and browns. The distinctive slanted roof rises steeply over the canopy of gnarled trees which line the perimeter of the property's extensive grounds. What can be seen of it betrays the haggard state of the structure, as sections of the roof are sagging inwards or already collapsed. The surrounding grounds are overgrown with thorns and wizened ivy running rampant over the paved flagstone and digging itself into seams of shifted stonework. The property is surrounded by high hedges and a heavy iron wrought fence, within which a gap of this boundary stands a double-wide iron gate. The hinges of the gate are twisted and hanging limply open. The building itself is only a few years short of total ruin. Its exterior stonework is crumbling and stained by years of neglect. The manor presents a blocky facade, 3 floors, and a pair of short towers rising above the slate roof. The windows, if they could still be called that, are shattered remnants and frames mostly without glass or far too soot-stained and dirty to be visible through. There is no light emanating or visible from within. And with that, we have a winner to our giveaway, I believe. The other Oshi. Congratulations. I hope you will enjoy this adventure very much. Matt will get in touch with you with instructions about how to claim your prize. For the party, it is time to move to our first area map of the adventure, as you are able to begin your exploration of Raventree Estate. You are here in the fog-shrouded exterior of the manor grounds, at the end of the semicircular carriage drive. The large stone steps to the front entrance of the structure rise before you. Across a wide courtyard and up a short landing, the facade looms in testament to what once was. Two great oaken doors engraved with the crest of House Corvinaris. You can make it out faintly from here. You've seen it before, Alphonse. A spreading oak tree with the wings of a bird. In this larger format, you can conclude it is likely a raven, etched on top of the tree's spreading limbs. The door is 10 feet wide and nearly twice as tall. The varnish that once protected the ornate decoration upon the carved oak has been stripped away by the elements long ago, but enough detail yet remains that you can see the likeness of the sigil that it bears.
I can't see the map.
Okay. I may have screwed up as a game master and neglected to give your character adequate vision. You are a hobgoblin, so you probably have night
60
vision.
foot of dark vision,
Dark
baby.
Yeah, let me...
Never again can call without that.
I'm
Yeah.
noticing that the fog is lining up against the walls.
Spoopy.
How is
Very cool.
is that a Foundry thing, or is this an animated, like a
That's
map?
that's a Foundry thing that we did for this adventure.
That's real cool.
That's very cool.
What?
Yeah, this
Vlad, you should have
I
vision
can see
now.
I
Okay,
also-
I'm sorry
I also-
about that.
I also need help.
Oh no, Andrew! Shame,
I have 120 feet of dark.
shame.
Good googa booga.
Oh, what am I doing?
I don't have
Look at me.
120 feet of map.
I got you.
I was just stoked to be able to see the courtyard. I was like, yeah.
Who else
Right?
did I? Who else
I
did
can,
screw up?
yeah, I can see.
I can see fine.
Okay. This is my first time using the software. Please bear with me.
You're doing great.
We believe in you.
Is the fog effect box Foundry, or is that a module?
It's something we did specifically for the adventure, although we're going to work on bringing it to core at some point.
Please.
Yeah.
All right, so spooky house.
Alphonse saunters up, rather unconcerned. Just more like get this over with type thing.
Uh-huh.
Abigail's gonna.
There are
say
2
I'm
windows
next.
that frame the door on either side. They are empty, offering no barrier to the elements. Shattered glass litters the ground before the windows. They're a bit too high off the ground to easily climb through, but they could provide another means of ingress for a determined intruder. The paths that wrap around either side of the manor to east and west, as you pass by them, lay overgrown but traversable. The stonework beneath your feet seems to have been expertly laid, even in the gloom, and crowded as they are with brush and vine. The paths to either side seem to invite exploration, but nothing catches your eye quite so much as the double door at the front of Raventree Estate.
So Alf, before we get into this, On a scale of 1 to 10, how concerned are you with collateral damage to this place?
I think it. Well, you might surprise me, but I don't think it can get worse. So.
You can't do too much worse.
Alphonse,
Alright.
how long has it been since you were here?
20 or so years, was it? I don't really care to remember that accurately.
How old are
Right,
you?
but it's been a... Yeah.
I'm 31.
Right. Are you alright? Like, I mean, like, it seems like a lot, you know, like coming home after all this time and seeing it like this. Are you alright?
I'm rather pleased to see it like this.
Insight.
May roll.
Okay.
Maze is also realizing
just
he
trying-
doesn't know how long a year is.
Nice.
No.
I
I'll
wasn't even trying to
explain.
accuse you or anything.
13.
Russell. Her insight is not particularly keen in this case. What outwardly would your demeanor be, however, that Abigail might pick up on?
I think you're
I
muted.
think you're muted.
Sorry. Forgot another question, Doc. But yeah, he definitely does seem unconcerned. He's sort of eager, but like eager to get it done, get it over with. Like, just let's begin.
Okay.
And he sort of looks around in a wistful sort of way. He says, it's pleasing to the eyes, but more chilling to the heart, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, that makes
I
sense.
will take your word for it. Shall we?
I was hoping
shall.
somebody would say so. You see Vlad over there doing stretches, like getting ready to kick the door down.
Let's try the door. I just tried shoving it open, sort of as a grand entrance.
Do you have the key?
Wait, are you gonna open it like a Bloodborne Dark Souls Elden
Mhm.
Ring just
Yeah, exactly.
There is only one answer to that question, and that answer is yes.
I assume my blood is involved somewhere. But,
He is going to go through. Well, you might think so, but surprisingly, this door appears to be unlocked and openable without any strange occult intervention, without any magical sorcery, without any potent word of power. The door simply opens beneath the combined weight of your and Vlad's might, and it swings inwardly.
I don't know who asked, but someone asked, "Do you have the key?" And I open it. It says, "Yes."
Oh,
The door opens, and beyond the open
Ooh.
doorway, the expansive foyer of Raventree Manor lies in ruins. There is very little light here, although many of you are well equipped to perceive the world in darkness. It reveals a scene that is forlorn, filthy, and deserted. Scattered around the room are remainders of the house's once great opulence, and the absolute degree to which the foyer has been left to molder and collapse.
Do I see any torches or sconces that just need a light?
There are the remnants of some lamps around the edges of the room. It looks as if they might have, at one point in time, have emitted a light, perhaps mechanical, perhaps magical. You're uncertain.
Can I just put a firebolt in one of them to see if it catches?
Sure.
Nice.
I sort of stand by the door, "Welcome to my home," and sort of usher people in.
Yeah, it's
This place
Cozy.
is not good for my respiratory system.
yeah. I'm just gonna try and light whichever lamp I see.
Absolutely. I will.
Yeah, I feel like. Wait, does thaumaturgy light candles?
If you want
Yes.
to click and hold on one particular lamp that you want to light. I'll see about getting
Awesome.
something set up for you there. Perfect.
We got this guy right here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use prestidigitation to get, I don't know how do you make it ping?
You just
click
hold
and
onto the
hold.
map.
Click and hold.
Okay, yeah, I'll light that one.
You light two of the. They're not exactly torch sconces, but there is some ability to preserve a light within them as long as you're maintaining the spell. You get the sense that there's nothing in there that's going to burn as soon as you cease your conjuration. However, at least for now, the foyer is illuminated, and you can observe that the exquisitely crafted marble floor tiles are cracked and stained. Everything is coated in a thick layer of filth. As the air is disturbed, motes of dust swirl and fill the dimly lit air, carrying the scent of damp and decay. There are a pair of grand marble staircases that dominate the far northern wall, leading up to a second floor of the manor. There are also two sets of heavy double doors that stand in opposition across the foyer from one another.
Can I attempt an investigation to see if there's any sign of combat or blood or anything in any one direction?
You may roll an investigation check, absolutely.
Yes. Vlad wants all the smoke. Let's see. Not great.
The most obvious sign of...
You're muted, Abigail.
Oh, I yelled, "Stopping such an edgelord, Alphonse," in character, but I did it using message, which is why none of you heard it. Like,
the sort of main sign of perhaps violence is the shattered and crashed chandelier that sits atop a large pile of rubble in the center of the foyer. It seems to have fallen on and crushed what may have been the remains of a statue beneath it, as you see the remains of a once carved marble arm shattered beneath the weight of the fallen light fixture.
Oh, I see it. That's a very big arm.
Might I attempt to lift the chandelier to get a better look at what's under it?
You can. It is large, but you are very strong, and I don't even need you to make a roll in this case. You are able to shift the chandelier slightly. I need to check your passive perception.
Mine is 9. My passive investigation is 15.
Interesting. Well, while you are shifting the rubble, Maze, you are the most attentive of the companions, and you see for a moment a weathered corner of what appears to be a book underneath some of the rubble.
Oh, Abs is probably gonna want that.
Is that a book?
Maze is gonna try to snatch it out from under the chandelier while it's being moved, so it doesn't get crushed.
Hey, you gotta let me know when you're sneaking in there, guy. almost dropped this on your head. That would have been messy.
Maze, I'm gonna need you to roll a sleight of hand check.
Oh no, dear Lord.
That's why we gotta communicate.
Moon and stars. Please do not squish my familiar.
I'm trying real hard not to.
Maze,
I'm gonna give him some encouragement.
unfortunately, the book tears in half as you are attempting to withdraw it from the rubble, pinned between two heavy chunks of rock. You managed to take away the bottom half of the book,
That tracks.
and you look
Please, how could
somewhat
you?
embarrassed as you hold a portion of it in your hands.
How could you?
What do you mean? I got you an early copy. The rest will be out soon.
It's not funny. Well, shit. I don't have mending.
Oh,
Do we
Oh,
see
yeah.
the rest? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, yeah. Charlotte will see this happen. And she'll kind of like roll her eyes and like, do I have the ability to get the other half of the book?
So, the unfortunate aspect of this is that the book is so weathered and so worn by the dampness and moisture in the air that it just sort of started crumbling into motes that join
Right.
the congregation of other motes of dust swirling through the air. There is the part of the book that Maze was able to recover, but unfortunately the first half to 2/3 of the book has been lost in the process.
All right.
You
I was gonna
inspect-
try and fix it for you, but it's...
You can at least survey the pages that you did withdraw, and
Yes.
without the context of what came before them, it's a little bit hard to understand what you're looking at. It appears to simply be a list of names with each perhaps accompanied by a short message of some sort.
What do the messages say?
You make out one such message that seems to be from a Lord Berenius. Seems to be expressing, the message is expressing condolences on the passing of, the text is smudged and it's hard to read at that point, but it picks up again and says, "My wife and I are glad we are able to share this remembrance with you."
Oh, do you think the last party was actually awake? Because that'd be kind of a bummer.
What?
It's one of those things where, you know, people get around and they drink to remember somebody and then forget the rest of the night. I went to a couple last week because there was
Oh, like they
open
get
bar.
really, really drunk?
Yeah. And tell stories
well,
about
sort
how
of
they know
like-
each other.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
like celebrating the life instead of like
That's what
mourning the
I
death,
figured.
You know?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
remembrance of the
Yeah.
remembrance. Isn't that what Ari said? Who is Alphonse? Do you know who Yelena is?
Alphonse is staring down the long hallway at the opposite end of the foyer.
Hmm.
He says, he turns to you. Who?
Yelena.
I don't
A
think I-
remembrance ceremony. That was 20 years ago. It was the last time anyone ever saw anybody here.
I don't think I recall, no.
Also, is it just me or is the statue pointing at the stairs?
I was literally just going to say that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
I was
just
also
me,
gonna
but-
say if it's all the same to all of you guys, I'm putting this chandelier down. Ah.
Maze, you carefully, having learned your lesson, turn the pages of the book. There aren't too many remaining before the pages begin to be blank. The last page, which bears any text, there is a final entry upon it. The name is Perius Anmatar, who has left a short message of condolence as well.
How about Perius and Matar? Does that ring a bell, Alfie? Where are you?
The name
So-
in chat for your reference.
He's over there.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking at the.
He's blending in with
Yeah.
the shadows.
As he do.
Yes.
I can't say it does. Unfortunately, I only remember my mother.
You don't know a Lord Baroness?
Barinius.
Barinius? I thought you were supposed to be. What is going on?
Well, I think we should just keep looking around. Let's not get stuck in one room, eh?
What are we looking
Yeah.
for?
All right. Well, I was just going to say that too. Like, what?
Dead bodies.
Well, like a portal to hell would be sort of like my first instinct, but that seems a bit on the nose. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Actually, Alphonse, what did Ari say that he wanted you to open a door of some kind?
I think it was a vague fix the problem here.
Fix the problem. All right, we gotta figure out. Okay, let's find some people.
Are we
Yeah,
Vlad.
walk and talk. What's up?
Wait, we gotta be
Yeah.
careful. We're not trying to die today. I know you are.
Yeah.
Vlad, you ascend the marble stairs to get a better vantage point on the situation. The
Mhm.
carpets that are lining the stairway and the landing are surprisingly still somewhat plush, providing significant cushion to each step. Only the source of that comfortable step comes perhaps more from the thick layer of fibrous mold that has overtaken the carpet rather than the fabric itself. If you wish, you are able to ascend these stairs to reach the second floor of the estate.
Yep, we're
I
going
could
straight
spend
on up.
all day casting prestidigitation on this place, and it would still be filthy.
Are the rest of the
Alphonse?
companions joining Zentt in ascending to the second floor?
Well, what's through these doors? Like, what's
Or
up
go-
to the
going
left
right,
and to the
right.
right? Alphonse, do you remember?
I only remember endless dreary halls and long processions. Nothing clear.
Is he saying that with like, the good old days?
No.
All I saw, long and dreary. Oh, it's the best. So
Right.
macabre.
The
I'm going
must.
to propose to the but I'm going to propose to the group that we don't open any doors unless we are together as a group. Like, just safety first. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Safety first. It's very important.
Yeah, don't go poking about if you don't know what's behind the door, right? Without
Don't go
somebody else
poking
with you.
about.
Buddy system.
Buddy system.
We could cover more ground. if we
Maze?
split up.
Oh, Maze, you're my buddy.
Maze,
Hi.
as you go to ascend the steps, again your passive perception pays you dividends, as for a brief moment you could swear that you see you hear a subtle sound from behind the door to the east.
Just real quick. Not gonna throw anybody off track. Did anybody else hear that?
You're what?
Hey, what?
It's probably just in my head. Hey, Vlad.
What? I heard something about a buddy system.
Yeah, there's a door that you should buddy up with.
What's where is that? Which one?
And Maze is gonna point over in the direction of the door.
There's nothing stopping you from ascending if you wish to go upstairs, but
Don't split the party!
Maze has mentioned that there is a strange sound that he overheard from behind the door to the east.
You
how
know-
far away did Vlad make it? I just realized.
That's like almost all the way up there. He's gonna come back down.
Is the door of concern?
Yeah, I mean, I would recommend checking it
Oh, okay.
cautiously as I take a step behind the wall.
All right. Anybody choosing to open the? Oh, okay. All right, Alfonso. I like it.
Alphonse
guess
is an
it's-
action-oriented.
Like your
Character.
initiative. All right.
The once quaint sitting room designed for receiving guests is, at first you think, devoid of such, until you realize that there is a faintly flickering disturbance in the air, accompanied by a slight light coming from across the room. A figure, or at least the visage of one, seems to be sitting patiently in a ruined armchair, tapping a cane rhythmically against the marble floor.
Right.
It's a person.
Well, speak to it, Alphonse.
Yeah, Alphonse, this is your gig.
The figure looks up, and before he notices you see that he seems apparently entirely unbothered by the state of the room. And the fallen table next to him seems to give him no cause for concern as he periodically sips from the only teacup in the room that isn't chipped, cracked, or otherwise shattered. As you enter, he looks up, and even behind the party mask that covers his face, there is a warmth of greeting that is notable to you. Ah, you've arrived. Fashionably late as well, I see. Come, join me. We can wait together.
Wait for whom?
Though, I think perhaps I've been waiting a while.
Probably have.
Alphonse, ask him who he is.
Yeah.
What is your name?
Why, I am, Lord, Baron. No, Sir, Count? Marquis. No, Count. Count?
Was that the name in the book you were mentioning?
His eyes seem to lose focus as a vague sound of alarm creeps into his echoing voice. He looks for a moment as if he might be about to panic.
Oh, it's Charlotte will notice this, and she'll step forward and like kind of put her hands up and say, "It's all right, love. We all forget things sometimes. It's no big deal at all. But my name
Maze forgets
is
things all the time. It's okay.
Yeah, it's all
What
right.
is it?
It's all right. There's no need. There's no fuss. No fuss at all.
My-
I'm Charlotte, and these are my compatriots. But what are you waiting for, friend?
The tension seems to dissolve as he loses focus abruptly, and that tension seeps out of him. Terribly sorry. I must confess my mind wandered there for a moment. You were saying?
Nothing
just-
much, Lord Baroness.
I would like to investigate.
Yeah, I was gonna,
I want to see what's up with this spooky boy.
I was gonna ask if I could do an arcade check.
I was just.
What are you attempting to discern, Vlad?
If this thing is magical in nature, and what sort of magic is it based in?
Okay, you may roll an Arcana check in that case. Abigail, what are you interested in?
I'm investigating if this guy's a ghost.
Okay, that would be a religion roll for you, please.
Go?
Ghosts are very religious in these places.
A matter of spirituality, if you will.
Oof. Oh wait, I did mine blindly, but you should still be able to see
It's
it. right?
okay. Vlad,
Yeah.
you are quite certain that this is not normal. Whether
Mhm.
it's magical or not is a matter of some philosophical debate. Whether spirits and corresponding visages of non-living creatures that are stuck in this material realm, whether they're here because of magic or whether they're here because of something more fundamental about the reason for their state. But
Right.
it's clear that this figure before you is no mortal man. And
All right.
Abigail, that would be clear to you as well, although exactly what mannerism of spirit, haunt, specter, poltergeist, white, or other manner of undead is unbeknownst to you.
I do assume he looks incorporeal, right? Like he looks like a
He does have
floaty
an
blue.
incorporeality to his
Gotcha. Okay.
visage.
Are y'all like
Hey.
surrounded the door over there, or are y'all like?
They're
So,
getting ready to run.
I've been lagging a little bit, and it's been hard for me to move my token, so I haven't been moving my token. I'll move it if I need to, but I kind of like to explode
I'm-
my eyes,
Sure.
Yeah, I'm
and I'll use it for like combat and stuff, or if it's like important, if positioning is important, I'll specify. But I'd say I would have gone up for the conversation.
Knowing what I know about it from an arcane perspective, can I then try to do a religion check?
You may, given that you've identified that this is likely a a spirit of some kind.
I'm also kind of giving him a once-over and paying attention to his appearance for later.
Okay. I will say, Vlad, that beyond the nature of this being some sort of spirit, presumably undead, you also are unsure of what further you can learn from what limited knowledge that you have in these matters. As far as taking note of his appearance, you will see that his clothing and manners are a style that perhaps has been out of fashion for some time.
Like 20 years sometime, or 100 years?
Maybe not 100 years. It's perhaps close to 20 or 30 years, out of fashion in terms of the latest modes.
Oh, he's kind of dressed like one of my really, really old professors.
That's right.
Looks fresh to me.
All right. So I don't think it takes a genius for us to all kind of figure out what we're dealing with here. This guy. He's not alive. He has ceased to be. So do we want to help him find that piece that everybody wants to rest in, or what are we doing?
The individual in question looks at you and says, "Excuse me, sir.
I was gonna say.
I am very much. I'm here for the party, the same as you."
Oh, let's hear about the party. Yeah, the party. What do you know about the party?
Well, I mean, I assume as much as you, given that you too are a guest.
I'm so drunk, I forget why I'm here.
Well, you know that these remembrance parties are fairly common, but this one is special.
Why?
Well, I mean, you must be aware that Lady Yelana was truly a treasure, and I would not pass up a chance to celebrate her life.
Oh, I know. It's
abrupt as it was.
It's so abrupt and so sad. How many celebrations has this been? How many years has it been? I can't remember.
Why is to fool around with ghosts?
Shut up! I'm trying to get information.
It's been a year since she passed, of course. And...
Oh, 1 year. Poor soul. She was too young, right? 10. I look to see if 12.
He
Wrong
looks
way?
very
8?
confused at your speculation around age.
Gnomes are really bad at gauging people ages. Is he what species is this ghost?
Well, he's wearing a quite elaborate mask, and that conceals a fair bit of his features, but he is a human-sized individual.
Okay. I don't know if he's elf or man though.
Can't
Charlotte will step forward again and say, "I do not wish to be impertinent by any stretch of the imagination, but this is actually my first remembrance party. I am but a stranger to these strange lands and these kind. Friends have welcomed me into their home, into this party. But what sort of thing is a remembrance party? Why are you wearing the mask and all that? What happens at a remembrance party?"
Well, Lady Yelana was such a remarkable woman, and since her passing has left the world much bleaker for her absence, the Lord Darius decided to throw a great celebration of her life, and there's to be a feast and dancing and festivities in commemoration of the lady, and I don't know why I haven't been admitted yet. I've been waiting here for some time. Where is Usk?
Because you're dead as a doorknob, pal.
Vlad.
Where is
What?
who?
The butler. He is a family servant, and he is responsible for announcing guests. He just announced the party that preceded me, and yet he hasn't returned for me.
Do you know which direction he went?
Well, you would be admitted through the ballroom, and then the banquet hall is beyond.
Right. Weird question. Do you happen to know what time it is? Like, what time do you have, friend?
Oh, well, it's in the evening, and dinner will be served in about an hour, and...
Right, so it's definitely not like, oh, I don't know, and she like very like subtly looks at her little like clockwork thing, and so it would be around like 3 p.m. It's definitely later than that here right now in this moment right here that we're in
goodness,
right now
no!
together.
I was still on the road at 3 in the afternoon. That's why I'm arrived as late as I have. You have surely lost track of time, young lady.
Oh, I'm terrible with time. It's the jet lag. It's just like I said, stranger
It's
in a
true.
strange
She's very
land.
terrible
Yeah.
with time.
Never know what time it is. That's
Always
what they call
wrong.
me. Charlotte doesn't know what time it is. It's
Charlotte
weird that I'm explaining this meme.
unpunctual. What's the opposite of punctual?
Did you see the butler? Did he show you in?
No.
We're looking for him.
This is almost cruel.
No, look, don't mess with a spirit when they're having a thing. You leave them in peace. You don't break their reverie. That's how you get haunts and spooks.
They got
okay,
unfinished business and we're playing into it. It's not right.
It's where
Yeah,
it's our
well,
job. We gotta break the
actually,
curse.
Charlotte, despite being mostly criminal, also has a background in like medical doctoring. Could I roll like a religion check or maybe even like an arcana check to see if like Charlotte has ever like, does she know anything about like how one might bring the dead to peace?
The nature of hauntings and their resolution.
Yeah, not even like hauntings, but just like, you know, like sometimes, you know, unfinished business, like what's the most tactful bedside manner to like help someone to their rest type of deal. Not like necromancy, but
Yeah.
I'll give you your choice of arcana or religion on this.
all right. I'm gonna choose arcana definitely for no
All
reason.
I know, Vlad, is you never tell a confused spirit the truth of the matter, because then they go ballistic and it just makes it worse.
Yeah, they go ballistic and then you send them where they're going.
No,
Charlotte-
that doesn't.
What you are aware of is
Oh my
that
God.
spirits like this type of entrapment of a soul tends to happen when there is some unfinished business that can be very serious, grave in nature, or it can be something even trivial. And for whatever reason, due to a vagary of the nature of life and death, especially in certain places or planes of the world, that spirit is unable to pass on as it is trapped. It's fixated on the nature of its obsession.
All right.
You would know that.
Okay. Charlotte is gonna look at the group, and sort of like give them like a pointed look, and say, "Well, friends, our new friend here has been waiting for quite some time for the butler to come back. Do we have any other information that we might like to know from our friend before I give him the message that the butler sent with us?"
Yes, I think we should ask if there are any guests he recommends we mingle with while we're
Great
here.
question, Abigail. Great question.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Teacher's pet.
Hey, Maze, stop it!
What?
There's
spirit
nothing wrong with being a teacher's pet.
the spirit looks at you and says, well, much of the family is here, of course. Lord Darius and his children, of course, are here as well. I saw but a moment ago the Lady Elsieth. She has grown since I last saw her. And Lord Kryn, of course, and his lady wife. I forget her name. And the rest of their family as well. But everyone who's anybody is here. Of course, you should use this opportunity to take note of them and to introduce yourself.
Absolutely. Lady Elsieth, you said?
Yes, the Lady Elsieth. charming young woman. She is talented, surprisingly so. Her arcane potential seems to have grown magnificently. I saw her just out in the foyer, delighting the children with quite a display of illusion.
I would absolutely love to meet her.
Hey, hey, friend. What can you tell us about the statue in the other room?
Oh, I believe it's one of the Lord's ancestors. I'm afraid I don't know their family history well enough to tell you exactly whom.
Anybody find it particularly distasteful, not like it?
Distasteful? Well, I suppose his countenance is rather severe.
Oh, you think somebody broke the chandelier on purpose?
Yeah.
Oh, I just assumed that in the Death and Decay.
Nah, in my younger days, I squished somebody with a chandelier. It's a good feeling.
Would you like to die that way?
Nah, that my great grandfather was taken out that way. Also, last question. We found the book, right? And for the life of me, I think I tore the cover off of it. Any chance you might know the title of this book and who wrote it?
I think it's a guest book.
Oh, the guest book, you mean?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, you signed it, right? You already signed it?
Oh, of course. Yes. I just arrived and I left a message. Have you signed it yet?
Nah.
Oh no, I've been trying to find the words. You know, you really want
we were looking for some inspiration. What did you write? Maybe you can.
Yeah, the party was a little dead when we got here.
Stop it!
Maze steps out of the room.
It has yet to begin, my friend.
My
They're only
mage
just
hand
beginning,
is
people.
going to try and cover his. Every time he blurts out some "you're dead" information, my mage hand is like.
Well, I mean, the party has only just begun. And where are my manners? Really, the butler should be doing this. But can I take your coats? Can I
Absolutely not.
Oh no, it's quite all right. Actually,
That would be demeaning for a count.
I don't even know if the coat rack is
What
still
was-
standing.
Yeah, DM, what was the name in the book again? The signature that we saw.
We saw Lord Berenius and Perius Amnatar.
Okay.
Were they right next to each other?
No,
were just
they
the
were
two
a couple of.
names
There
that-
were two names. The last one was Perius. The Lord
Perius.
Berenius was the first name. I gave you the first and the last. That you.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, he'd be the first one because he said he was like here before everyone else. Wait, was he here before?
No, I
everyone
think
else?
I thought he said that he had just arrived, so he would be.
He said he
Oh.
just arrived.
Oh, so he's
Yeah.
Perius.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, GM.
Well, actually, it's Perius, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, my reputation precedes me. How
Yes,
enchanting!
well, even as far as I'm from, we've heard of Lord Perius. But listen, actually, it's the funniest thing. The butler, actually, there was a terrible, issue with the wine. You know how the vintners are these days. And so we, they actually asked, and Charlotte will look panic at Abigail here to actually announce you to the rest of the party because it's clearly quite important to you. Yeah.
Yes,
And
I
so,
want to
my
be
friends-
properly acknowledged.
Yeah, of
I
course.
say
right.
that way
And Abigail is.
seriously. Like I'm not even
is-
playing along.
Well,
Yeah, and Abigail is a person of great importance and knows how to announce a person properly into a party. So why don't we get you announced, friend?
I
Would
can
that be
do
all right with you,
that.
Abigail?
Yes. Would you like me to announce you, Perius?
That would be ever so lovely, young lady. I would like to join the party very much.
Okay.
I-
All right. I'm gonna conjure a little crate, and I'm gonna step on it. So I'm
Yeah.
at
Abigail, one moment though, please.
Oh.
Last chance for any questions, friends. If my suspicions are right, Does anyone have anything else that they want to ask Perius here before he departs to the party?
Well,
I mean-
while they're doing that, is there any chance I could investigate the room to see if I can find the remains of Perius?
Yes, you may.
He's very, very
Roll me an
smart.
investigation check while you do that, and then I'll
Okay.
come back to you with the result in a moment.
And I'm gonna take a quick glance over and see if I can glean some hint as to his proper title, like based on his not regalia, but like his attire. Is there a badge? Is there some kind of identifying title? Because I heard him he was like Baron, no, Count.
You can roll a history check to see if you recognize the
Okay.
sort of sigil
I
that is
really hope
on
I
his
get a
book.
good. This is one of my good rolls. Oh, it almost was an at 20, but it's still not bad.
Still good. Okay, you recognize a badge of station that hasn't been used in some time, but you've studied the regional heraldries of the area and the surrounding countryside, and you do get the sense that this man, Perius Anmatar, is or was a count.
A count. And does he wear a crest or coat of arms that I might recognize?
Not that you recognize, but you presume the coat of arms upon his surcoat is that of House Anmatar. It's not a house you've particularly heard of, but
Okay.
perhaps a minor nobility of the region.
Okay. All right, when you guys are ready, I'm gonna do the thing.
Don't we take him somewhere to investigate?
Vlad, I would say for you, you investigate the remnants of the room, and what you survey of the parlor is but a shadow of its opulent trappings. It might have once been a comfortable room with ample seating, but now it is anything but. There are towering windows to the south that are shattered. The decoration is time-ravaged and soggy. There is dust and plaster and splinters covering the room, and it appears to have been mixing with leaves that have blown in from outside and have never fully rotted away. There is a vast painting hanging on the wall to the west over here. No sign of a body, however, that would be the remains of anybody.
And who are the folks in the picture?
In the painting,
In the painting, yeah.
a towering portrait of a handsome man in his 40s looks down from where it hangs against the west wall. He has an austere expression seeming to reflect his feelings on the room's sorry state. The painting hangs uneven, peeling from age and exposure. At some point since the manor's abandonment, someone saw fit to throw an inkwell at it. Shards of glass are studded into the canvas, and the man's face is partially hidden behind a large black stain. A tarnished plaque hangs from the painting and reads, "The Heart of Raventree" by Theda Redstone. There is, however, something about this painting that strikes you above and beyond what I've just described, and it's the side of the man's face that is not covered in the thick blot of ink looks unnervingly familiar.
Does it have unblinking, staring eyes that might be blue or perhaps gray?
Well, first off, I'm checking behind the painting for any fake walls or anything, and then after that, you said it's uneven. I gotta fix that. It's gonna drive me crazy.
Three things in order. One, you may roll an investigation check to check behind the painting, but before you do that,
Mm-hmm.
the aspect of this painting that you find most unnerving is the lordly face. Etched on either side, long hanging hair, dusty blonde, shoulder length, regal attire. Strange. A face that seems familiar to you.
Does this remind me of a porcelain guy? Ari, that's the one.
There is an unnerving resemblance.
You guys are just gonna hear Fled at the top of his lungs. I knew it! Aha!
What?
What are you yelling about?
First off, you're all welcome. Second off, take a look at this guy. Tell me
Wait.
we didn't see him before.
What we're doing? Excuse me, sir. I'm gonna say to the ghost. Give me one moment.
Oh, he's got all the time in the world, quite literally.
Oh my god, Vlad.
are
Come
so
on, man.
I pull my hat off really quick and press it to my chest, like.
And I was told I had bad bedside manner.
Oh, you do.
Well, I mean, it's a little late for bedside manner. I mean, he's well beyond the bed.
It's well beyond bedtime. It's gonna be his bedtime if we don't hurry and call him, announce him to the party.
Right. But yeah,
Right.
take a look at this guy and tell me you haven't seen him before.
Hey, that looks like Ari.
That
Oh.
does look like Ori.
Alphonse! What? You, what? Just points at it and he yells at Alphonse.
I did not expect his countenance to be on the wall.
I thought he was a servant. What's he doing getting a whole
Yeah.
portrait done?
That was my impression as well.
He's
He
got
was
nicest
dressed
threads.
very nice. Yeah. I mean,
Listen.
really lords dress their servants really nicely.
Listen, I might not be the most clever guy, but my hunches, they're never wrong. This guy right here, this is where the problems start.
Wait, what else is in this painting? What
Does
is
he have
it?
a scar?
No scar.
No scar.
What's up with this painting? Like, what is he? Does he look like a position of power or authority or?
It does indeed look as if this figure is some person of power and authority, and the plaque upon the painting that reads "The Heart of Raventree" seems to kind of be a bit aggrandizing as well.
I
Wait, is
hate
this
to interrupt, but really quickly, the inkwell was thrown at the picture, right?
It was.
Was it thrown in the same area where Ari has a scar?
It is covering the side of the face where Ari has a scar. Whether that is coincidental or not is an open question.
I feel it in my gullet,
is-
guys.
Is this Lord Darius? Is he wearing the sigils of House Carvinaris?
Yes, he is, and in fact, Perius from across the room looks at you and says, "Why, yes, you recognize it. Have you met Lord Darius before?"
Yeah, maybe. Oddly enough.
Yeah,
we
just got
didn't know it was
introduced.
him. We just bumped into each other at a tavern once, randomly.
What? Perius, what the name of this painting is the Heart of Raventree. What's the Heart of Raventree? Do you know what that is?
What?
Is that like a
Isn't that just
title?
thing
Is that like a
artists do when they draw someone? They choose a title for the painting or something.
yeah, yeah, I'm
Oh.
aware of the convention of naming paintings. Thank you.
I meant no offense.
The
of course.
metaphor.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
Or like literally the heart, or literally like the heart. The
yeah, like the
heart.
yeah.
Like this
I
place
was-
is the heart of the party. Like Alphonse is definitely the heart of our party.
I just nod.
Well, none would claim that Lord Darius is anything other than the patriarch and center of the house. He and his children, and, well, of course, before her passing, his lady wife.
What was her name again? I forget.
The Lady Yelana, of course.
Okay, oh,
It is
yeah,
her
absolutely.
remembrance. You are here for the...
I'm bad with names. Your human names, elf names. I'm not sure. I'm so bad with them. I'm so sorry.
Hey, Alphonse. What was
the-
your
is-
mom's name?
Yeah.
Oh, I actually don't know. What's that?
Out of character, not this.
Not
Not Yelana.
Okay.
Because we did ask. He was like, Yelana who?
Yeah.
Or Yelena?
Is the art that we are now looking at, is that what is depicted in the painting?
That is what's depicted in the painting,
Okay.
yes.
Well,
The
that's
art
not
that
how.
you're seeing now.
That's not
Yeah.
how Ari approached us.
He was in green.
Ari
I
did
mean, it
not
was
look
like-
exactly like this. His
Like the-
attire was more disheveled, worn, faded over time. There was a slight difference of countenance. Certainly, he had some wounds. He walked with a limp. He had a scar on his face.
Right,
Um,
but it's the same face.
It is
Charlotte will
uncannily
point-
similar.
Charlotte will point to the staff thing that he's holding, and say like, Perius, you'll forgive me again, traveler at strange land, we've been through it. Is this some sort of like special thing here? What's that? What's he holding? Do you know anything about that?
I don't, but it may be a scepter of his station, or, I mean, of course, the Lord Darius is a talented mage, as you must know. Perhaps an implement of his arcana.
Was he a very famous mage?
Yes, very famous. All of surrounding countryside. He had many admirers and other mages who were jealous of his attainment.
Has he written any books?
I don't know. I'm not much of a scholar.
I need to learn more about this guy. Alphonse, you didn't tell me your daddy was a bigwig wizard.
This isn't it.
At this point, Vlad is going to take out his axe and kind of sit crisscross applesauce for the next 10 minutes, and he's ritual casting detect magic.
Nice. Okay. I'll get back to you in a moment.
That is such a useful spell. And
I did want to let you know before you start that the results of your investigation. You straightened the painting, you investigated the wall. You didn't notice anything amiss.
Okay.
Aside from the askewness of the painting.
Yeah, I had to fix that.
While somebody is ritual casting, can they talk to people or do they have to hold concentration?
They can talk. Usually.
Yeah, I'd say you can converse as long as what you probably can't do is anything that requires also his undivided attention. But yeah.
Oh, sure. I think Charlotte will sort of sidle up to Vlad because she'll like recognize that the spell is happening. We'll say, "Oh wait, Vlad, would it be all right if we sent our friend to the party, as it were, or do you need him around for the rest of this? Yeah."
The sooner we get to send him where he needs to go, the more comfortable I'll feel. I don't particularly like ghost or undead. It's a whole thing. You're supposed to. You are what you die as, and this is an affront to everything that I believe. So
I
yeah,
thought
go
you
ahead.
were gonna cut a ghost in half and use them as skis. Were you
No,
not bragging
I was-
about that on the?
I
in
was
the
I was gonna cut a demon in half, or I mean, I'll still
Oh.
cut a ghost in half to
I
send
thought-
them back home.
Yeah. Well, I think we should send him home in one piece.
Right. Yeah. Is that all right with the rest of you if we send Lord Perius to the party?
Yeah.
Right.
You're doing that, right?
I will be announcing him because I strive to one day be a butler.
You
I will
are,
pat you on the head and give you guidance.
You are planning this action when a faint chill comes over the back of your neck, Maze.
Oh,
You are suddenly aware of the overwhelming silence in this house. It is quiet beyond reason, and you turn around just in time to see a faintly glowing illumination that seems to coalesce. Dust and debris shifting slightly as the presence makes itself known like a stiff wind blowing through. Barely contained smoke and light roils and twists into a nearly human form in the midst of gesticulation. A susurration of voice like rustling leaves begins mid-sentence, as though they had already been in the midst of conversation. The voice says, "Almost ready. I should be able to let you into the... Oh! Damn and blast, my key is gone. Please wait and make yourselves at home. I'll go and fetch. As the figure turns to hurry away,
Oh, wait.
it dissolves into smoke.
Was that the butler?
I think that was the butler.
I really
Yeah,
liked his cloak.
Oh,
it is a very
Mm.
cool outfit, honestly.
disappeared?
We might need to find his body.
I haven't seen any bodies here. I still think this is a portal to another dimension.
There have
Maybe the
been no
far
bodies.
realm.
There have been no bodies.
Yeah, but portals,
Right,
at
well-
least from my experience, portals are very loud.
Okay, that is a personal attack. It was
What
not
about
meant to be
Abigail?
loud. It was an accident.
Abigail,
Yes.
you've been studying sort of planes and that sort of thing, yeah?
Yes.
Well, what about like shadows or like reflections? You know what I mean? Like what if we're not seeing ghosts? What if we're not seeing, what if it's like reflections and like they're all trapped somewhere else in like another plane? Is that something that could happen?
So,
Like bad
okay.
reception?
Scarlet knows a lot about lore in this category, but I don't want to metagame. So, can I make a roll and then, based on what I roll, I will provide what I think is appropriate information? Or can I just rattle off what I think I
Roll
know?
an Arcana check. I'll give you advantage on this because you are a student specializing in this sort of nature of transplanar study.
And I have a guidance, so I'm going to add that 1d4.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Still pretty terrible, but 17?
17's not bad.
That's okay.
I would say
Okay.
I can tell you some things, and then I'll let you go first. Though I think you can
Okay.
go ahead and you can go.
So
ahead
I'm
and
gonna
speak about your-
I'm gonna preamble this with my ramblings of what I think I understand, and then I'll let you kind of guide me from there. So as you say shadows, I go, I have read about demi-planes bound by shadow that often reflect the real world, and they usually happen when something terrible happens. And something so terrible and so that causes so much misery all at once that those negative emotions all conjoin and trap everyone within a demi-plane. And that area is still reflected in the material plane a little bit, but it's very groundbreaking area of study.
It is a difficult thing to study, and research here is fraught with peril and tragedy. But what references are known, what you've described is accurate. There are other ways that reflections can permeate the plane. Certainly things trapped in the border ethereal. There are things that can see beyond the visages of the realm of the material plane to see things that are in the ethereal. That is another option that could be in play. Certainly also with regards to specters and the undead spirits that are trapped, remnants of lives past. They often can be reflections of the people that they were shortly before passing, although that is not necessarily a transplanar phenomenon so much as a trans-living phenomenon.
So when you say a reflection, are we saying that the true soul has already passed and this is a magical echo of the energy, or is this a trapped soul?
I don't want to mislead you. I think you would not reach that conclusion rightly or wrongly. This does appear to be a trapped soul.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
Perius looks up at you and says, "What, Usk? What, come
Oh, yes.
back. I'm
Yeah,
waiting."
if he's still working on that wine, he's losing his keys, dealing with the wine.
Should I try and send him to the party now?
He says, "Do you think I'm still in line?
Oh,
No, you're
definitely
next.
You're
I
definitely
just
next,
worry
friend,
that
yeah.
maybe I've lost my place." And
What
Oh,
is
no,
there a
no,
limited
no.
slot? No, you are so important. You are so important, Perius, Amnatar,
Well,
beloved
that's kind of you to
Count.
say. I do very wish to attend the party.
All right, I think it
Why?
is time. Unless anyone has objections, I am going to stand on my little crate so I am like a few inches taller, still very short. Now presenting the Count Perius Amnatar. Ta-da! Well, look at that. You can enter the party now.
With a degree of solemnity, Perius stands up and collects his belongings and his cane, and he starts walking towards you, Abigail, as he sort of gestures towards the door, and he almost expects to be admitted, perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
Charlotte will notice and like rush forward and like open the door for him. And as like she walks by, she'll sort of whisper to him. She'll say, "Have a good time at the party, mate."
You rush forward to fling open the door, and you're met with the jarring lock of something securing the doors from within, a mechanism preventing its opening, as Perius stands there expectantly.
So embarrassing.
Oh, you know what? You know, now I remember. And she'll sort of like look at the rest of the group. I think I do remember the butler. He said that he misplaced his keys, and I bet that's what happened. I bet the doors. I bet the doors
Alphonse,
stuck.
don't you have a key?
Alphonse, yeah, could you help us out here, bud?
You don't have a key to...
Maybe just give it an old tap.
Yeah.
No.
Sort of looks unsure. I had a key to get into the house.
I
No.
thought it was all the same key. My bad.
Yeah, maybe just give it the old college try. You know, just to see what happens.
I'll
Uh,
go up to the door and give it a good shove.
It is certainly well shut. Its
okay,
mechanism...
where did that
Okay,
ghost
okay.
go? I'm gonna start wandering back to see if I can't find that wandering butler ghost.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We'll be
You-
right back, Perius. We gotta go find the key.
Abigail,
Terribly sorry for the trouble, Perius.
roll me a perception check to see if you're quick enough to catch a clue of the ghost's location.
Okay, perception is just, what is this roll?
Nah.
It loves you tonight.
I haven't gotten a single.
You've been a little unlucky. It's true. You're saving your luck for. You do have inspiration if you want to try.
Yes, I do want to try.
And
Remember
I think
buddy
you
system.
might still have guidance. I don't know if that was.
Can you
part of-
guide me? Here, slap me. Do it again.
I don't slap her. I just gently pat her on the head again.
Oh, that's much better.
A good use of inspiration, I would say. You exit the room just in time to see the flickering, wispy visage of the butler ascending the stairs purposefully, walking up to the landing and disappearing down the hallway to the north on the second floor.
I'm going to send my owl familiar to sneakily, silently go and follow him.
Mm.
Follow him, but if you go within 100 feet of my range, don't go any further.
All right. I will get back to you in a moment. Are you going
Okay.
to actively look through your familiar's senses, or are you going to let the
I'm going
familiar...
to let the familiar notify me when it's
Okay.
time to look.
I'll get back to you in a moment then.
Okay.
Should we not follow?
Arius is just waiting patiently by the door, sort of
He's so
looking
patient.
around furtively.
You know, Perius, why don't you, sit back down? We'll let you know when the door is open. It's just a little technical difficulty.
Oh,
Yeah, terribly sorry. It's
I-
quite
I-
embarrassing,
Should
really.
have checked the door first.
I understand.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, I'll just be here. Do come back and see me when we're ready to enter. And
Yes.
if you see Usk, tell him that I've been waiting now for. Well, I think it hasn't been very long, or I don't know.
Cheers.
Oofs?
Usk.
Ooh.
Oh, is Usk the butler?
Yeah. Yes. Loyal servant of the house, and usually very punctual.
It's the wine. We told vintners, just like Charlotte said.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, we're gonna go find Usk and get his keys, and then my friend Perius, we will give you the announcement that just the best one ever. That's
We'll
what
give
I was
you
trying to
another
say.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, just like
announcement.
we can do it like 4 or 5 times, honestly. Like
We can
really just make the
practice.
payoff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do like a whole like choreography thing.
Maybe
we'll do, like,
you should start practicing your entry pose. You know, like chest up, head back.
I will
show off
practice
that
my
mask.
posture. Yes, I should make a grand entrance.
While we're saying this, I take a glance at his mask and I'm going to put my hand behind my back and I'm going to conjure a replica and just kind of keep it underneath my robes.
Oh, very nice. Yes, his mask is sort of mostly solid white, like porcelain, but probably not actually porcelain, just designed to look that way. And it has sort of feathered wings around the eye slits to give it a sort of avian-like quality.
Perfect. Yeah, I want to make a replica of that and hide it underneath my cloak.
Okay. Certainly done with your conjuration abilities.
Yeah, so I have the ability to minor conjuration. I can literally just create with an action objects. Nothing too heavy, nothing too expensive or fancy or magical, but just like objects. So there's going to be a lot of that.
It's super useful and very cool. All right. So you are in between objectives, perhaps. There are things that you could investigate in the foyer. There's the spirit of Usk that appears to have gone upstairs. There's the locked doors. There's other areas of the first floor. What would attract your attention?
Usk is my biggest concern right now.
Yeah, he has a foot on the stairs ready to go up. Follow him. Waiting for the others.
Yeah, and I have my sneaky owl. Do you know owls have the quietest wing flaps of all the birds? They are very stealthy.
That is a great piece of trivia.
It is a bird fact.
Bird facts. I'll expect one from you every episode.
Oh, you can just call me. I'll be Brennan Lee Mulligan for you any day.
I'm prepared with bird facts.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And
Vlad, where are you, Vlad?
Vlad is still in that room. He was casting.
Oh God.
He was casting detect magic.
Right,
yes.
I'll stay with Vlad then. I'll stay with Vlad.
Enough
I'll make
time
sure
has
that he's
passed
good.
that you have completed your ritual at this point. I had been meaning to get back to you. Thank you for patiently waiting, and I apologize for taking some time. You notice a few things. There is nothing in this room that is overtly magical, which in and of itself is a bit of a revelation given the strangeness of the environment. There is, of course, a slight spectral residue around the ghost of Perius and Matar himself, but the painting is not magical. Neither are the locks on the door to the north. Anything else you would have to get within 30 feet while you are actively detecting magic to learn about.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold concentration on it for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to see if this is a straight thing with this door.
Yeah, it does not appear to be, there's no glyph or rune of a magical lock. It does appear to be mechanically locked. Certainly attempting to force it open is possible, but also attaining the key is another perhaps path forward, but certainly up to you.
I think he's just going to give it one good college try.
All right, go ahead and roll me a strength ability check, and we'll see if the lock is sufficiently worn that it can be broken down.
It's not. It's almost not worth it, but I want to try. I will silvery barbs myself to give myself advantage on this.
Ooh, all right. Very interesting. Okay, nice. You can go ahead and roll again then with to get the advantage.
What are you?
Yes.
and just for that, I would like to use Fortune of the Many to give myself a +3 to this as well.
Oh my goodness, I love it. All right, so that brings you to a 25.
Yeah.
Describe to me how you would like to penetrate these doors. What, are you
Why did
wrenching them open? Are you kicking them in? Are you?
I think in the moment when he's doing the ritual casting, he kind of feels that everybody's leaving, looks around with his detect magic, and then goes to the door to give it a shoulder check real quick. And when it doesn't budge, I think that's when he locks eyes with Charlotte. And it's just like, nah, I didn't mess up. I was just testing it out. See?
Abigail was standing in the foyer and hears that and goes,
It is startling as the doors, the locking mechanism stays in place, but both doors just come completely off their sodden hinges, and the whole, like almost like a portion of the wall, just kind of falls inwards into the room beyond as Vlad stands imperiously over the fallen doors, looking into the what appears to be perhaps a dance hall of sorts. As these doors come open, Vlad, you're able to perceive a room that has been substantially destroyed.
Welcome to the freaking party.
I'm gonna rush back. What did you do?
Yeah, Alphonse had just mounted the
Charlotte
sword,
will-
and he hears this and just, what?
You guys are looking for a key, and I got one right here.
Well, this.
I mean,
poor
that's one way to
unfortunate
do it,
child.
I guess. I mean, did we? I just thought. I guess, like, I don't know if sending Lord Perius to the party works if we don't have the key, but I suppose Count Perius. I mean, do you want to try it again? See if maybe now's the great time to
Yeah.
make an entrance.
Perius seems perhaps ready, and he stands up and looks confused a little bit at the doors splayed open before him, and he said, well,
Oh,
unconventional.
I have an amazing idea too. While he's doing this, Abigail is gonna run out of the room, disguise self to look like the butler, and then come in.
All right.
Nice.
A small
Nice.
version.
I'm ready.
Except
You-
you're like a foot shorter than he actually is.
I think disguise self lets me appear a little bit
You can
like
you can stretch it a little bit. Whether Perius will realize the illusion or not, we shall see. Is there a certain is there a certain?
DC?
I guess with the spell, there's a certain DC to see if he kind of
Let
sees through your.
me look.
I think it's your spell save DC, so it should be.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
is a
Investigation
They
check.
they have to investigate.
Well, I will say
and-
this: he's not. As you enter, in the guise, or at least the closest facsimile of it that you can muster, having only seen this spirit of the butler for a short time.
He had a really nice cloak. I got
He
that
doesn't-
down.
Yeah, you get the attire right. That's kind of the thing that you probably nail with the illusion. And
And I feel like he
Perius
doesn't even
doesn't-
remember what his station is. So I'm
Perius doesn't seem to be in too much of a questioning mood. He seems to kind of accept your arrival and looks towards you expectantly, and then looks back towards the dance hall.
now presenting Count Perius Amnatar. And I bow very deeply.
Perius seems-
Charlotte will too, and then like smack Vlad to like get him to also.
How,
like,
what?
Come
oh,
on.
right, yeah. Your Highness, get in there.
Perius Perius extends his arm towards you, Charlotte, as if he's asking if you'd like to enter with him.
Oh, You know what? And she does awkward finger guns, and she's like, you know what, friend? I haven't been announced yet, and
Oh,
so
of
I
of
don't
course,
want to
of course.
be impropriety.
You
You know,
get
but
back in
you get on in
line.
there.
I yell at Charlotte. You are not ready.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Look at me. I'm from. See, can't
So
take me
sorry,
anywhere.
Count.
Oh
We'll see you
no. But
inside. Don't
hey,
worry. We got a
My
dance
my
waiting for
apologies,
you.
Count
Luke.
Perius.
I was out of line. I will enjoy the party.
No,
Thank
it's all
you.
right.
And Perius
Yeah. Have
strides
a.
into the ruined wreckage of the dance floor and strides across it. And as he does, it seems as if his visage starts to fade a little bit and grow weaker as he begins to flicker and look increasingly incorporeal. And as he crosses the floor, you almost can't see him at all anymore as he gets to the far door, and without waiting for the door to be opened, he just walks right through it and out of view. Remains to be seen whether this has sufficiently disrupted his curse of remnants or not, but you've certainly allowed him to move on, and that in itself is no small thing.
Oh, doesn't it just give you warm, fuzzy feelings? I say that in Abigail's voice, but I still have the I still look like the butler.
I mean, I guess that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
Shall we
I would
follow?
also like to say that I did in fact get asked out by a count today, so I'm not
That's
mad. I don't care if he's a
Yeah,
ghost
that-
or
I'm
not.
sorry if I was rude.
Yeah.
That date would have been dead
That
on
was all
arrival.
Oh my
Boo.
goodness! I take my hat off, which ruins the disguise, and put it to my chest, like. Ugh.
All right. So, who wants to go to the ballroom, eh?
I suppose we should take a look around, see if we can find any bodies.
Yeah, take a quick look.
Why are you always trying to look for bodies so
Just-
much? Like just
not because I want to look at the bodies, but just to see if we could look at evidence of murder.
Wreckage.
Alright, yeah, that's fair.
You will
And,
note that wreckage consumes over a third of the dance floor. The majority of rubble and wreckage is confined to the eastern half of the room. In the center is a shattered piano that is partially embedded within the floor, its final resting place having been made possible by the collapsing of a mezzanine balcony overhead, which appears to have been followed by sections of the ceiling which have collapsed above that into the room. To the western side of the room, the damage is less severe, with a broad wooden dais sagging but still intact. Much of the furniture that once sat upon it seems to have been flung away or smashed to bits, remnants scattered here or there around the room.
I'm gonna do the flame bolt trick again.
I was
and-
literally just about to say, are there anything? Like, can we light some candles?
You surely
Listen,
can.
Glad it
Light
was fishy.
I'll let the two of you get two of these lanterns lit, at least
Yeah.
temporarily, to illuminate the scene further.
I'm gonna pick up. My mage hand is gonna pick up a piece of debris and just awkwardly stuff it in one of the sconces, and I'm gonna use prestidigitation to light it.
Does anyone have a particular affinity for music?
No, but Alphonse does go over to the piano and looks down on it and just says, "I remember this piano."
Oh, do you play?
No, I'm glad to see it in its state.
You hate pianos too?
That's right. I mean, I've like dabbled in a few musical instruments. It sort of comes with the whole, and then she sort of just gestures to like her saturness. Like, you know, we like music.
You feel at the
Oh.
distance of your perception in the background, you almost can imagine the sound of the music playing in this dance hall. Perhaps you're just envisioning it, but it almost seems to you as if you are in fact hearing something at the faintest distance of your auditory perception.
Everyone?
Just to note, I'm still focusing on detect magic. Am I seeing any shinies?
Nothing shiny, but there is a sort of glimmering residue upon the floor. Almost like footprints, perhaps?
Oh, I am immediately gonna start following those. Almost where like he's got the bloodhound thing going. Like
Are
it's
they the
just like
same footprints that Perius left?
Unclear. They perhaps don't seem to be, because Vlad, as you begin to follow them, you realize that they are leading you around in a meandering spiral.
does it look like dance moves?
It looks as if these footprints, this glimmering residue that you can see, is circling the room, turning as it goes in little spiraling curly-Q circles. Whether that's dancing or something else, you are unsure, but it doesn't look like it's leading anywhere. It just keeps going round and round.
Maze will try to pull. Well, he'll pull out his pan flute because he does have one, and he's gonna try to play the song that he's starting to hear.
I hit a few keys on the notes on the piano.
You can roll me, firstly, a perception check to see how well you capture what you're hearing, and then secondly, a performance check to see how well you're able to replicate it. Alphonse, if the two of you are making this a little bit of a duet, one of you can roll with advantage if you want to aid each other, or if you want to both roll.
Can we say that the melody is Once Upon a December from Anastasia?
I-
Oh my
okay, I was
God, my
just
heart
going to make
right
that
now.
joke.
You're killing
Like-
me.
You may make that
100% was like loading it up.
I was meaning just to see if it still worked.
A boy
I'm sorry, what's the
opened
question,
a
Russell?
wall.
I was just hitting the keys just to see if it still worked.
It sort of works terribly badly. Some of the keys make a sound, and some make a very wrong sound.
I will guide myself for this.
Okay.
Let's see.
Ooh.
For
You
the-
think you're able to make out a melody at the distant edges of your hearing. It sounds as if it's coming from within the room, but also not within the room, as if it's here but not here. Maybe as if you're hearing an echo of some other place or other time.
Or other plane?
Okay.
So yeah, I can kind of see magic right now. One of the things I'm seeing are these footprints that are
Footprints.
going around in circles.
Can you mark them so that we can see?
Yeah, I can do that. Let's see what do we got in here in the old bag.
I don't know, like trace it in the dust.
All
While
right.
he's doing that, can I pull out my lantern and light it?
You may. Yes. I will set that up for you as
Oh.
Alphonse pulls out a trinket most potent. It is 60 feet of detection, or
30 radius dim and 30 of
Yeah.
bright.
If they're in the bright, they are detected.
Yeah.
Okay, so 30 feet of detection and then 60 feet of light.
Right.
Very good.
I
I'll
just
put
heard
that
a
up.
glass break. Was that part of the ambiance track or was that intentional?
You seem to hear the echoing sounds of perhaps footfalls now that Vlad has pointed out to you the trail. Alphonse lights up his lantern and holds it up. There are no figures revealed, but there does seem to be a little bit of a shimmer in the dust of the floor.
So Vlad is going to outline the footprints with his arrow. So
You
that
start to
there's
realize that it's not a single set of footprints, but there are more than one. There's one, another, there a pair. There are little pairs of footprints, perhaps 4 to a cluster, moving slowly around the room. No bodies attached.
Sorry, so we're seeing the footprints move?
Under the light of Alphonse's lantern and then Vlad under the potency of his spell, you're seeing a little residual glimmer, a
Got
little
it,
sort
got
of
it,
fairy
okay.
dust movement in the dust of the floor. Little footprints, only lasting a very short time, faint glimmer just moving around the floor in a circling pattern.
Either this is a remnant of a time long past, or again, we are stepping in a thin wrinkle of the fabric between dimensions.
Yeah.
Both are pretty strong hypotheses.
I don't like it.
Maze is just still trying to play it.
Yeah,
Maze, you seem to kind of pick up the melody a little bit, and it does reinforce what you're hearing enough for the rest of the group to really kind of pick up on it. And then
How does that make us feel?
Yeah, I was just
probably
about to say.
fairly uneasy, but you tell me.
Well, I'm saying, like, would that make us, like, are we getting an unset, like, is he drawing attention to us?
It certainly is a bit of an attention getter, although nothing seems to be happening right away.
I'm going to look at Alphonse.
He's heading towards the door.
I'm going to scurry over. Hey, Alphonse. Just in case this is a trick. Oh shit. You know what? Never mind. Scratch that. I just looked at the spell. I can't cast it on you. Never mind. Rewind. Okay. Go do your thing.
If I could, I'd like to investigate the wreckage and the piano specifically to see if there's anything under or hidden around it.
You bet. Have at it. You may roll an investigation check. Anyone else
Yeah.
doing anything around the room as that's happening?
I want to open the door that the spirit walked through.
Okay. Very good. You open the door and your lantern reveals a hallway beyond. I'll get back to you with more on that in a moment, Alphonse. Vlad, the piano is pretty badly broken, and inside there is a jumble of wires and hammers and wooden bits and dust and debris and leaves that have blown in from outside. It's kind of turned into a little bit of like a makeshift compost bin under the hood of the piano. There is nothing of note that you discover from a magical perspective or otherwise.
Okay.
Alphonse, you reveal a hallway beyond that. Directly across from you is a painting of a solemn-looking, perhaps ancestor or family member. The paint is badly chipped and faded. There are other frames of paintings on the floor that have been ripped down from the walls. The hallway itself is dilapidated and poorly lit. Looks treacherous, but traversable.
Well, it's well lit now.
Now that he's kind of got the tune, Maze is going to try to follow the footsteps and the pattern along the floor.
You carry the tune and you follow the footsteps and the pattern along the floor, and it seems as if the sound of the music is becoming more pronounced, more reinforced. Well, for you especially, Maze, but I don't know, it almost seems that way, as if with your guidance, the music is becoming manifest and becoming enriched by your own playing. It's suddenly louder and more perceptible, and you start to hear, almost as if you can imagine, the shuffling feet, the sound of footsteps moving about the room, right on top of you almost.
I'm just gonna sit back and watch my friend summon a demonic spirit.
Charlotte is going to think for a minute. She's going to get out her thieves' tools, and she's going to take out the scissors that are canonically in thieves' tools.
Okay.
And she's going to reach down to like the hem of her skirt. She's going to cut 2 little squares out. She's going to roll them up and put them in her ears and make earplugs so she can't hear the music anymore.
Oh, clever. Maze, you seem to be at the center of this circulation of footsteps as you trace around the room. The music swells and grows louder still. Is anyone else taking any action?
I'm just watching and getting nervous.
Axe out, shield out, and following behind.
I'm gonna slowly put the mask on my face.
You pull the mask down just in time to see a shimmer of light comes swirling from behind the piano as a figure, no, two figures, move in tandem, their steps in time, swirling with the music that's now swelling all around you, and you see the spectral forms of a pair of dancers spinning into view as they turn the corner, and then another footstep, another pair, and yet another, as dancers all around the room come manifest into light, drawn forward into being by Maze's play and the sound of music that swells all around. Each pair, a cursed ghost, cheek to cheek, swirling, step by step, next to each other, spinning around the room. And then as they turn, their eyes fix upon you, Maze, and they take notice of you, and they all at once turn their attention directly towards you. And their dance takes a new tone as they spin and tilt and twirl in your direction with arms outstretched as if to grasp you and pull you into their loving embrace. And that, my friends, given the time, is where we will conclude our session for today.
Holy
as
shit.
the demeanor of the spectral dancers changes to something more sinister.
Hey guys, I made friends.
I don't want to be your unicorn.
Well, that is where we will end for tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us. At the beginning of our next episode, the intrepid adventuring party will have to deal with this spectral threat that they have awoken within the dance hall as they continue to try and unravel the mystery of Raventree Estate. Before we wrap up for today, I'd like to invite everyone to, if you like, reintroduce yourself, let people know what you do, where people can find you, if they want to follow you, if they want to learn more, if they want to find you at PAX, if anyone's going to be there this weekend. Let people know what's up. I'll go first. I'm Andrew. I'm the creator of Foundry VTT, worked on this adventure as well. Really a privilege to be able to run it after so long. I'm super excited to be doing this, and I can't wait to see what happens next week. I will be at PAX if any of you are there. I look forward to seeing some of you all there as well. And we'll have, maybe some stuff that you can get if you track me down as well. So we don't have a booth or anything, just super chill this year. But let me know, message me on Discord, ping me, find me if you're there. I'd love to meet up with anyone in the community who is around. Next up is Scarlett.
Hi, I'm Scarlett. I'm a content creator, mostly Dungeons & Dragons, but I also DJ on Twitch. I made a lot of pretty portraits for our party, and if you want a pretty portrait of your D&D character, I'm open for commissions. So please check out on Twitter. That's where the information is, and please DM me. I really would love to draw your D&D character.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Scarlett, both for contributing your talents to the stream as a player as well as an artist. Noir, you are next, sir.
Hello, everybody. I'm Noir. You can find me all over the internet as the Noir Enigma. That's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Hive, and my own website, the Noir Enigma. You can find me at PAX. I'll be on a paddle with Charlotte. I'm so sorry. I'm calling you by your character name now. Oh, it's Katie. It's gonna be a good time. And you can normally find me every Friday on Gen Con TV, where I host table takes.
Awesome. Thank you very much, sir. Zentt.
Hi, yes, I'm Zentt7 on most of the social things. I am also a Twitch streamer under, again, same Zentt7. I'm probably going to be coming back from a hiatus soon, so I will be streaming again hopefully in the next month or so. Otherwise, yeah, you can find me here every Thursday.
Awesome. Wonderful. Kate.
Hi everybody, I'm Catieosaurus, but you can call me Kate. I am a full-time content creator. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me here on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can find me on YouTube, where I'm making some series about improv strategies and Dungeons and Dragons. I also have a podcast. It's called Katie and Eric's Infinite Quest, a top 1% worldwide podcast. We just found that out today, and I'm flexing on it because I'm really excited about it.
That's a good flex.
And I'm going to be
Nice.
at
That's
PAX.
awesome.
I am going to be doing neurodiversity at the gaming table and disabilities at the gaming table. I'm going to be talking about autism and TTRPGs. So if you want to get on the neurodiversity train here at PAX, come check us out. Nailed it.
Awesome. I look forward to that. I'm gonna try and make the panel for sure. And last but certainly not least, oh sorry, Russell, I did the wrong order. But Russell, take us out.
Hi, I'm Russell. I go by Moo Man generally on Discord, and I don't really have any social media to plug, but if you like using Foundry for other systems like Warhammer, I'm probably your guy. So yeah, talk to you on Discord if you're there.
Awesome stuff. And most of all, thank you very much to those of you in chat who've stuck around with us for this ride. We hope you really enjoyed it. We will be posting the VOD. Well, that'll be on Twitch for a while, and then we'll get it on YouTube in a day or two, where you'll be able to watch this episode. And then next episode, we expect to be next week, as long as scheduling continues to be kind. This will be a weekly show, at least for a while. We know that December can sometimes be a little bit tough, so we might miss a week here or there, but we're going to try, and it will be a weekly show unless we post otherwise. So we hope to see you back for episode 2. We'll get a little bit of combat encounters going. We'll get more exploration of the manor. We'll start to unravel the mystery of what the heck is going on here. So thank you so much for joining, and we hope to see you next time. And with that, I will bid you all a good night, and see you next time on Foundry Virtual Tabletop Presents A House Divided. Farewell.